What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to CKQ Podcast. I am your host, Clement. And today, before we get to the panelists, I'd like to introduce a few things. First, please hit that like button if you enjoy the content. Subscribe to the channel. All the panelists, their info is going to be in the description. All right, let me do this, right? That'll probably help. As well as, I want to know if you guys like my bow tie. I'm trying that new thing out. Let me know, please. But as well as I have my Etsy shop in the description below. I'm going to be putting out new merch every week. So let me know what you guys think. Check it out. And let's get into the panelists. Today on the panel, we have John. John, you can unmute yourself and say hi to your loyal fans.
Hello, everyone. Hello, loyal.
There you go. All right. We got M3.
Hello, everyone. This is M3 from Knowledge and Relationships. I just want to give a quick shout out to my boy D-Rail, King Bowens, DJ Eddie King, Al Burks, Tammy, and a few other people, including my wife, Miss Marion.
There we go. He said shout out to all the Wu-Tang Clan. And Natasha and Stephanie. Natasha and Stephanie, I do like you guys' intro to your YouTube page. So if you guys want to actually start and introduce yourselves that way, go for it.
So we are the hosts of the Talking Shit Pod. This is Natasha. I'm Stephanie. And yeah. And we post
there we go. Awesome. So you guys saw the questions. You saw the topics. How do you guys feel about it? Feeling good? Feeling ready?
Yeah.
Feeling prepped?
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Good. All right. We got some other people that are going to be hopping in, but we're going to get started straight away with the questions. All right.
Okay.
First one. Whoops. First one.
Should we go first? How does it work?
We might start with you guys, but first one. Can you blame the other person if you sit in a relationship for years that doesn't go anywhere?
I don't think you should blame the other person. If anything, you should not blame yourself, but just be like, I guess, put your cards on the table. Just, visualize your life and tell the other person, let them know, like, this is what I see in my future. If you see this in your future, let me know. If you don't, then guess we can part ways here and we don't waste each other's time. But if you're clear and communicate that straight ahead, there shouldn't be any blame on anyone.
So no one's to blame.
Yeah,
I think it's a mutual thing because you guys should have had the conversation. It was something that should have been throughout let's say it was 5 years, 6 years. If you guys didn't speak about it, that's from both of you guys. Yeah. I think.
Okay. M3, let's come to you. We're gonna go through everyone real quick and then circle back around. All right. Okay. M3, okay. Let's hear it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put it like this. The old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But in this situation, like I said, the title is called Responsibility and Accountability. I think that when you choose to be in a relationship that is not the best for your livelihood, then I feel like at some given point you have to ask yourself, whose fault is it? Because you make your own choices. And then when you do self-reflection, it boils down to okay, could I have done better in my life if I had tried my best to make this relationship work? So I look at it like this. In other words, I feel like we take responsibility for the duration of what we put up with.
So who's to blame?
You are to blame.
That's what I was saying.
Okay. John, bring us home. Let's hear it.
All right. So a lot of times when I answer questions, I might sound like coming from a psychological perspective because I will be. And that's just because of my background. No. So because I am finishing up a doctorate right now. So I'm going to say, yes, there is some blame in it. And the person who's not happy in the relationship and who still stays around, of course, you're it. You're to blame. And that's not the case in every scenario, because it depends on other factors that have to be taken into consideration. Because the question was very general. If the relationship had been for a prolonged period, there comes a time where it all centers around how you see your self-image. So if your self-image has been lowered by this person, you may not believe that you can do better. And this is something that you start to internalize, and it becomes a part of your core belief system. And you will stay in a toxic relationship for a very long time. That is the premises of battered women syndrome. This woman is getting beat up and she's staying there, and everybody's wondering, why don't she just leave? Because it's not that easy. No one will love you like me. No one, you got 3 kids. Nobody wants you. After a while, she starts to believe that. If you keep telling somebody that, they will eventually believe it. It goes back to the example with the elephant. The elephant, as powerful as he is, can break the chain. But if he doesn't know that he can break the chain, he'll just stay there.
Yeah.
But he could walk off at any time.
Wow. My man is preaching. Damn.
Facts.
That was good. That was good. Toxic relationships. Do you guys still think there's no one to blame? Natasha, Steph?
I think it's the blame is on both.
Yeah, the blame is on both. I think the blame is on yourself for not communicating. Like, if anything, I don't think it's on the other person. It's on you. Like, you decide what you want, type of thing. You go for it. If you don't reach it, you can't just blame someone else because you didn't reach it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you got to hold yourself accountable. If
exactly.
things went that far and you didn't get anywhere, like, you wasted time.
But also, if you didn't say anything, it's like a lot of people are not here guessing. Some people are, they get comfortable. They're fine where they're at in a relationship. They think that you're on the same page. So then you get upset because you want more, but you never said anything, or you never showed, or you acted like you were fine with what's going on. So
yeah, I don't know. I still think it's your fault. Like,
no, I think if you guys both communicated fine.
I don't know.
Doesn't it take two to communicate, though?
The relationship would have ended a long time ago if there would have been communication in that relationship.
Yeah. I kind of agree with which one is Natasha? Natasha's the one to the left, right? Okay. Okay. Well, I agree with Stephanie to the left.
Yeah, let me.
Yeah.
Are you playing the fence, bro? Come on, pick a side. Stay strong on it.
The reason why I agree with Stephanie, right? Because I believe that, like I said, it is your responsibility. I understand, what Natasha is saying, because if you guys are communicating and she want to say that, okay, it's both of you guys' fault. I mean, as far as what contributes to a toxic relationship, both individuals are responsible. But on a personal level, if you yourself are not out of that toxic relationship, you have to blame yourself. The other person not even a factor at this point. You have to just say, hey, if I don't have the willpower to leave out of a toxic relationship, knowing that there's other guys or girls that will be willing to give me a chance and will be willing to open a door for a healthier relationship, then it's my fault if I don't take the opportunity.
So if a relationship doesn't go anywhere, it's considered toxic?
No, I mean...
No, that's not true.
I wouldn't consider it toxic. It's just a relationship that's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Toxic is how y'all treat each other.
Right.
Like, is it bringing one of y'all down? Is it causing you not to be your full self? That's what I call a toxic relationship.
I don't know. I think we use that word too quickly nowadays, though. Like, toxic. Like, we like to throw that word just about at anything. Like, at what point does a relationship become toxic?
It becomes toxic, like, when you're not really lifting that person up. When all you're doing is, like, destroying the person's character.
Yep.
Destroying other relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're just like, it's almost like you're dangling a carrot on a person's face, and they can't even reach that carrot.
Do you think most people step into, like, especially people in toxic relationship, do you think they step into that relationship expecting it to be toxic?
I don't think that no one is expected for any relationship to be toxic. If anything, when you get caught up into a relationship, you know, your first mindset is all about your feelings, like the love, like, okay, the expectations, you know, what can this person do for me? What can I get out of it? What can I contribute to this person's life? If that makes sense.
I think some people are in denial though. I think they get into things. Think
Come on.
they can better someone, and they're in denial that they're like, oh, it's gonna get better, but
Yes.
it doesn't. So I think people get into things.
John is
You-
here for it.
She right. She's so right. She's so right.
Okay.
Because you ignore all the red flags and you swear, like, I was gonna go somewhere with this, but I better not because I don't want to offend. Like,
Whoa.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
Listen.
Hey,
See, this
All
this
right,
why I
so-
wanted you guys to put the name of your show. Talk your
I
shit.
got you. I'm gonna do it right
we could
now.
we could
Okay,
just point it. There we
okay.
go.
okay, hey, I'm new. I got it.
Go
Okay,
for it.
so
Go
here's
for it,
the thing.
John.
You and I hate to tell y'all this, but men and women are equal in this. I used to say that women were worse at it, but nah. I got to looking and digging. We're equal. We're about the same when it comes to change. Like, you will pick a person knowing good and well it's about 12 things that you can't stand about this person.
Right.
It's true.
But
That's a short list. If you say 12, I don't know.
I would go. I'm gonna go ahead and go on. And here's the guys. So here's the guys. Bruh, but she bad. But she can't read. Bruh, but she bad. But she can't work. Bruh, she bad though, bruh.
She bad
You
though.
see how fine she is? And then the girl's like, oh my God, I can change him. He is so sweet. He just got out of prison. He can't get a job.
He's a thug with a heart of gold.
Like, I feel so safe when I'm with him. You should feel safe if you with him, but not safe if he's against you. What do you mean? I mean, it's not going to change. If I'm showing you this, take what I'm showing you and go with it.
Yeah.
Because this is who I am. Like,
Yeah.
period. Period. You better stop ignoring. You better stop. You better look at them red flags. If he's late every day, he's a late person.
Yeah.
And he probably doesn't manage time well. He probably is not going to do a honeydew list. He's probably not going to be considerate of your feelings. There's a whole other list of things that comes along with that one behavior.
Yeah.
But you're going to stay 5 years to figure that out, that you can't change it.
This is a little off. These aren't the questions that I had in here, but I'll throw this one at you guys just for the sake of it. A woman will change a man when dating. A woman will change a man and resent that man that she's made. A man will change a woman and love that woman that he's changed. What do you guys think of that?
I don't think women would resent, or at least some women won't resent the guy that they've changed, even though, you know, they changed after they were together. Like, now he's probably in a new relationship, being the perfect man that you molded. But I don't think women resent it, at least not most. But it all depends on who the person is. Like, if they're that type to like hold grudges, then sure, they will resent them.
Do you think that if a woman wants to keep changing a man, no, I want you to wear this, or I want you to act this way, oh, come home from work so we can do this, or do this and this and that, and everything she says he keeps doing, do you think she would like all of that? I don't think so.
No, yeah, some women won't, only because
I would say most.
Yeah, women need or want men with a backbone, like, or that'll ask questions, not that'll like jump to whatever it is that you're telling him to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
I think in that moment, right, when a man starts to do everything that a woman like wants him to become, like, I think that's where the resentment comes in, but in a what's that word I'm looking for? In a subconscious manner, you know, because like women, they want strong men, but I still try to figure out why when you get into a relationship, right, they want to change you, but then like when you try to change yourself for that woman, then they become upset or they become indifferent towards you. So
I think if you do it just to like please the woman, I think it comes off as like a turn off. But if you do it because you know like you want to better yourself and you see that she's actually telling you these things so you can better yourself, and you start changing your ways little by little on your own, I think the woman won't leave. I think she would stay. But if it comes off as like he's only doing this to please me and to get like to tell me to stop talking or like to shut me up kind of thing, a woman's gonna be like, I'm trying to help you, and
like if a man does what a woman says and more, they'll be like, oh wow, like I only told him to do the dishes. He did the dishes and he took out the trash and he's doing the same thing next week. Like I didn't even tell him to do it next week. But I'm like, oh okay, like that's different. That's different.
I don't know. I think nowadays more women want a pre-made man. Like he's kind of doing his own shit. He knows how to take care of his own self.
I mean that helps.
Yeah, they pretty much want like a finished product. They don't want to see the man that's like working his way towards the race. They want to see the man that's like already at the finish line, well established, got all of his stuff together.
No, I think a lot of women are aware that men, take a little bit longer to grow up than women. I'm sorry.
No. Listen, you know the name. You know the name of your podcast, all right? Talk your shit.
Okay.
Yeah, not all men, but I do think women are aware that, like
We on this podcast we generalize. I like to generalize.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. So you're saying most men?
Most men, yeah.
Most men take it.
Yeah.
I would agree. I would agree with that, because it's not. We take longer to actually gain the things that make us attractive to women.
Yeah.
Meaning, like being able to sustain our own life and self, of having a house, a car, a career, learning to go to the doctor on your own, drinking water, all that BS that comes with actually being, responsibility. Like all that stuff actually takes time. That's why, like, a friend of mine always says, men age like wine, women age like milk.
Oh,
right. There's a pro and con to all this, right? Because here's the thing. Like, women are born with a cheat code. Men, we have to work and go from level 1 to level 10 to level 100. We got to work our way up to success, build our body right, our charisma, our game, our status, whatever the case is that will bring more women to be attracted to us.
Women too.
Oh, wait. But women, right? Women, what they bring to the table is more for men. It's more like their beauty, right? Men don't really care about. I'm serious. They don't care about like the job that you have, the degree that you have.
The beauty.
All they care about is like, hey, can you make me a nice sandwich? Are you so feminine, so submissive, and inspirational? That's what men look for.
The beauty part is just a temporary thing. Like for some men would be like all the extra things. Like you got to learn how to cook. You got to learn how to handle yourself. You got to learn all these things.
But the con is though, like, beauty does like fade over time for women. But like you said, CKQ, like, I think you said this right, but men like at on their age, like they age like wine pretty much. So like the older you are, if you're working to be successful, being old, like, it's not gonna really affect men as much as it will affect with women. Because we have different values, we look at each other differently. That's all.
Yeah, I would say a lot more, and that's why I like talks like this, because we actually both get to hear each other's side. I think women have been dating men from a woman's point of view. Women think men look at women the same way women look at men. Meaning they think like, oh, he has status, he's like got money, or stuff like that, or like he can take care, he's responsible. Versus men, what we actually care about is like, oh, she's a nice person, she looks good, she can cooperate with me. She won't actually like fight me. And that's like, we have they're like legit. Men are very simple. We ask for very little. But
All
the
we
things that
want
we ask
is-
for is like they are like very important to us.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. And
All we want to do.
I agree with CK on that one.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because that's what creates the conflict in some of the single women mind. Because they think they're looking at a man, they think that we look at them the same way that they look at us, and it's not how we look at y'all. Like, I wasn't joking when I said she can't read and it's okay. Like, it would be okay.
Don't worry, I got you guys some backup, all right? Melissa, you just stepped into the battle zone, all right? Are you ready?
Oh no! What happened?
What? Okay.
Oh Lord.
All right. Okay. So we're actually gonna step on to the next question since Melissa just stepped in right now. All right. This is one
Okay.
I've used before, but I definitely enjoy the question. Dating should be more of a practical choice and should have little to do with love. John, let's start with you.
I need you to elaborate on that one for me.
Right.
Like the first date, or do you mean like dating in general?
Dating in general.
Should be
Dating in general should be a practical choice and not about love.
If I'm okay, I'm gonna roll with this one and think that you mean this, and I'm gonna go from this.
I want to hear what everyone thinks I mean.
All right, so with me, you got some points there because I like that. Yeah, it should be because there are some no questions that will turn me completely off if you go there. You don't have the right to know how much I make. You don't have the right to know what I do for a living. You just need to focus on me as a person. Do you like being around me? Only worry about that. Do I scare you? Are you comfortable? Are we having fun? Are you enjoying yourself? But all that other stuff, don't assume that I'm trying to marry you. You don't need to worry about that. That stuff when we get to round 12, you can worry about that stuff. Because right now, you don't need to worry about any of that. If I invited you, I'm going to pay for you. And just know you don't have to worry about that. And that's all you need to worry about when it comes to my finances.
Let me push back on you a little bit. So when do you think is an appropriate time to talk about getting married?
To talk about?
Yeah.
I'm old school, man. I'm 47. We don't talk about that. I just pop up one day and do it. I ask you, and I can read signs. We don't talk about it. I've been thinking. We've been dating for 18 years now. And I think I need to make you my wife.
18 years, God. If she didn't leave you by then, God damn, bro.
I mean, she loyal.
You got 4 kids.
I mean, loyal is a word. I wouldn't pick loyal, but all right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Melissa. Since you just stepped in.
Can you guys hear me?
You're breaking in and out a little bit, but go for it. Man, Melissa, we got to switch your Cricket Wireless.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So I just I have Verizon Files. I have no idea exactly.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
Okay.
Go for it.
So I don't know. Like I just feel like it depends, especially like at what age group, like what station you are in life and how you date. Because it's like when you're younger, I feel like you want to date and just, see where it goes and have fun. And you don't want to generalize because there are young people that, date and they're like, oh, okay, I could see in building life with this person, and then it works.
Let me ask you this: what percentage of those younger people? Like I like to generalize, just because I think generalizations work for a good majority of people. I generalize by saying most women would want to get married. Broad generalizations, but I think that's broadly true. Most women would want to have children. Broad generalization, but I think it's generally true. That's why I always go with the bigger number, not like the smaller number, because I think there are the smaller number of people that are actually like younger kids that are actually getting together, staying together till like their old age. That is, I mean, let's be real.
No.
We can all look around and say that ain't happening.
There are still some high school sweethearts that are
Uh-huh.
there.
I mean, I know some. I know
Like
some.
a diamond
They're
rough.
they're my great friends. Honestly, I know some, and they are my great friends.
14, something like that. 15, maybe 20.
I feel like we all have those like type of people in life. Like I have one of my cousins, like she literally met her husband and they've been together since they were like what, like 15, 16 years old. And she's 6 months older than me. So she's about to be 31 next month. So it's
Nope.
like for certain people it works out that way. But I just like, and also like I just feel like now it used to be way more like back in the day. Like I feel like now like this generation is like, you know, I'm not saying that there aren't people that want that at a very young age. I'm just saying that especially now, like especially like with young adult females, like they feel like they have so many options now that they're like, do I really want that out of life right now at being a young age, or do I want to wait? And I feel like a lot of the young people, like millennials, you know, nowadays are waiting until they're in their 30s where they're more financially stable to be able to get married and have children. It's different. It's a different type of world that we live in now.
I agree.
Yeah.
I guess I want to push back on that a little bit, but we'll circle around. M3, go for it.
Okay, so in regards to like young dating relationships, it starts off pretty practical. You're just getting your feet wet. You're trying to learn about this person and that person. And I do agree that, you know, women, especially like younger, beautiful women, have a lot of options. So it's kind of hard to like really think like where does love tie into dating relationships. Like I said, it's not all, but the majority. And especially like when your mindset is not at a mature state yet, you're just pretty much having fun. Now, as you get to like 30, 40 or a little bit older, well, I would probably say like at least by 30, then you start to think like, okay, let me settle down, because your biological clock is ticking. You become less fertile as you get older, and your options starts to decrease a little bit. Just depends on like how close you are to the wall, for a woman. And I think for men, like, I don't think like men like generally like are looking for love, especially at the moment. They're just looking for like, okay, just the right person like to like really like talk to engage and have conversations. But sometimes dating just so messed up because you have all these options at your fingertips to a point where it's like most men, if they're not at a certain caliber, they can easily get discarded. So hopefully that makes sense.
So are you saying dating should be a practical choice? I mean,
well, I'm just saying that
dating.
I said like in the beginning, like dating starts, as a practical choice.
It starts as a practical choice. So you think when we're younger, we're picking practically?
I feel like that's where it starts off, because you said like, okay, does it start with practical or does it start with love? I don't think love is equate to like younger dating relationships until like you get older, and then I feel like as you get older, you start to try to and maybe or more mature, then you start trying to look for that soulmate. That's what I believe. That's what I think.
Interesting. Okay.
I think should be.
We're definitely gonna circle back. We're gonna circle back.
Okay.
Talk your shit. Go for it.
I think about the marriage question when it's the right time to like ask about marriage. I think was the question, right?
It's more of a practical choice.
No. He has something about marriage when it's right to ask.
Oh yeah, earlier, yes.
right?
When is actually the right time to talk about marriage? Yeah, that's what I was asking.
I think you can literally ask that at any age. It could be even on the first, second date. Just like asking like a general question, like what is the bigger goal? Like, do you want kids? Do you see yourself, with a family? Or like, I feel like those questions won't be as hard, or they won't scare the other person on a date. I think those are just general questions.
Yeah,
that,
because
you know,
it depends on how you ask them.
I don't know, John.
Yeah,
I have to agree with him on this.
Which one is that? Stephanie or Natasha?
Natasha. No, Natasha.
Ooh,
Okay,
we
so
got
their
Anthony.
names are lined up the way they're actually.
Yes, we switched.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, good. See, that's what I'm saying.
My
Like,
middle name is Natasha, by the way, so I love your name.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god.
when I've been on a lot of dates, I'm telling you, how can you not, like? I don't care. Like, I don't want to know about all that. Like, I don't know. I like that's a rough question for me. Like, for you to ask me because you asking me.
For the person
Hold on. Let him finish first.
Are you asking like generally kind of like, like, do you like kids, or are you phrasing it? Would you be asking the person, how do you feel about X, Y, and Z? Just for clarity, Natasha.
Yeah. So the person that's interested in like, marriage and kids and, wants to make sure that the other person is on the same page. I think it's like, I feel like it's the way you word it. I think trying to ask like a bigger goal. Like, what is you? Like, I feel like 10 years. Yeah, like in 10 years, like what do you want? Like, if you're the person you also want that, then yeah, go ahead and ask. That's not a problem. But yeah,
that's fair. That's a fair question. I understand now. Because you scared me a minute ago. I thought you was like, hey.
No, like, yeah.
What is this we got going on?
It's been about 20 minutes. Where's that marriage?
No.
At age 18.
Melissa, you want to say something? Melissa?
No, because that's what I was going to say. I was like, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. Like, I'm not gonna come out and be like, so I want to get married in X amount of years and have my kids and have this and this and this and this and this and this. So do you want the same? Because if not, then we're not. But like, I mean, like, exactly, because like a lot of no, I'm not like that. But there are people that can be like that, and you're like, oh no, get away from me. I don't know.
Me personally, I think women need to start asking those questions.
Wait, what? I didn't hear you.
I think women need to start asking those questions a little sooner if that's what they want.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. But like, there's a way of asking. You're like, oh, like, I work with kids. Like, I love kids. I would love to have them one day. Like, where do you see yourself with that?
Guys are dumb. Men are dumb. Men are dumb.
Especially if it's the woman asking the men, though, I feel like they would have to be very careful on how they word it, just because they're scared like this.
No. Listen, why would you want to waste your time with a guy that's going to be scared of the question instead of get him out of the way early and actually ask the person that would be okay with that question?
Because guys are more interested in getting to know you than talking about family stuff. Like,
that's exactly what I'm
saying.
Did you not just hear John? Did you not just hear John? He was just like, I don't care about all that. Not interested in getting to know you.
No, I didn't say that.
And stuff. Make sure you guys have the same humor and shit. Like, you can't just get with anybody and have a family already.
Okay, all right.
I want to know you. Like, I don't want you. Like, I don't think we getting to know each other has anything to do with like what I do for a living and how I make my money on the first.
Right.
Like,
okay,
we don't have privy to those questions.
Yeah.
So, do you think asking those questions early is a turnoff?
What questions? Those?
Yeah, like marriage.
Oh, marriage?
It's how you word it.
It's how you word it.
As
long as she's not videoing it to me, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? We have three women on here. We have three women on here. First date. How would you ask the question? Stephanie, go.
So you want some kids or no?
No, get me pregnant or what, boy?
No, I wouldn't do that, but I'd be like, oh, do you have any
any nephews, any little cousins? Have you worked with kids? Like in 10, 15 years, do you see yourself as a father? Like, that doesn't mean I'll be in the picture in some 15 years, but like some kids might. So I'll say it like that.
Okay.
Go,
Natasha, go.
I don't know how I would word it. It depends on the person. Like, I wouldn't ask in the first 20 minutes. Like, if we have the same humor, I'll probably make a joke out of it, or I don't know. It depends on how the conversation is throughout the night. But
After the waiter puts down the glass of water, like, so kids,
at least
marriage.
Right, yeah. But I would be like, so, you know, where do you? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I have no idea.
See, look, I think it's a tough thing to say.
But I have asked, like, you know, do you want kids, like, in the future? But it's not like that. I just don't know how to ask. I don't know.
Boom.
Okay, I need to say something after.
Wait. After Melissa.
Melissa.
Go for it. Melissa.
Okay, everybody's like, it's a complete turn, and I know it is, because but I'm saying it depends on how you ask it. Like, I feel like if you have that type of chemistry with somebody and you feel comfortable with them, like while you're on the date and you're just having a regular conversation, and then it just comes up in conversation, then you can like be like, oh, like. And just, it doesn't have to be like a direct way of asking. Just get to know the person and see like what they say, and then, you know, have like a banter and then see where it goes. And you could just be like, oh, okay, like whatever, like in a way of being like, oh, like I was saying, like, I work with kids. Do you like kids? Like you could ask that in a way that it doesn't sound, you know, where like you're trying to pressure them, or you're trying to, you know, like be like, oh, well, no, like this is what I want right now, because like there's ways to like ask and like no, so you know where to gauge the person where you don't make them feel uncomfortable. There's ways that you can do that.
I got a perfect way, and it's not on the spot, and it gives you answers to more questions. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
There we go.
You know how old you are.
Boom.
Stephanie, how old are you?
Exactly.
That was a good question.
I know where I'm gonna see myself in 5 years.
Okay, so 5 years is a good span to where if you're 21, you'll be 26, you can answer. And he'll let you know, because typically women will date a man that's like a couple of years, 5 or 6 years older than them. So he'll tell you, he'll let you know. And if he don't say anything about it, that now you know you don't need to bring it up.
That's saying something too.
And don't try to force feed him. So you don't like kids? You don't see yourself getting married? What I say earlier about the red flags and trying to change something.
Unless he has rose tinted glasses. I mean, that's your best bet.
Some women might not be into having kids. So if they're like, yo, if I don't see myself with kids, like, that's
there
cool.
you go. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? They'll tell you.
But also,
M3, hold on, Melissa. Melissa.
Yeah.
M3 wanted to say something.
Sorry.
Yeah, what I was going to say was this, right? Because, you know, I feel like that question has to start off indirectly, especially like if you're saying like on the first date.
The first date.
Well, let me ask you this though. This is going to be like a reflective question. So, would it be okay if I could just be direct and just say, "Hey, on the first date, can I take you over to my place and we have sex?"
That's
Listen, some women might say yes. That's
hold on, but the majority, right? Even though they want to have sex or whatever, right? You know, just like men want to have sex, but wouldn't that be most like a kind of like a turnoff? Because for women, they always think like, oh, if that's what he wants from me, it's just sex. Even though I want to have sex with him, but if that's what he's thinking, most of them get turned off by that way. And so men have to be indirect and, you know, kind of give like little cues. You don't agree?
John is like,
I don't agree with that one.
Nope.
I like
John
everything else you said. I do. I agree with everything else you said. I agree with you 100%. Except just one other thing.
Well, that's not 100%, then. That's 99.9. That's
all right,
99.9%. Okay. I'm going to tell you what women value, and we got 3 of them on here, and this is something that my homegirl know about because we talk all the time. And when I was in my young days, I was a bit of a player, and I always succeeded because I said, "Hey, look, I ain't trying to do the whole boyfriend thing, but I am feeling you, and I'm trying to go do some adult things, and I want you to have breakfast with me in the morning. You with it?" And a lot of them would say, "Sure." And you know why? Because they never heard I could have lied,
Direct.
act like I like them, and all this other stuff. Nope, I was straight to the point.
So
They said,
But
"Sure."
also,
Cool.
So what? That's what I'm saying. So wouldn't it make sense for women to do that on that the first date as well? Like, hey, this is
No,
what I
because
want.
it scares us. No.
Well, obviously, it scares the people that don't want that. But if they want that, wouldn't it make sense for them to scare away the men that don't want that?
Oh yeah. That would make
That's
sense.
what I'm saying. For the woman's benefit, it would make sense for them to do that, wouldn't it?
no.
I would say
No.
this. I would say this. Everything is subjective. Oh.
Yeah, because the thing is that what I was trying to say before is that there's ways of like gathering information like in the first couple of dates without coming off crazy, because there is. I'm just gonna put that out there. But the thing is that you have to like somehow date with a purpose, because then especially with women, then a lot of women find themselves where they're like, oh, we're just gonna go with the flow, whatever, and then they end up being with somebody or wasting their time with somebody that didn't end up or is not willing on giving them what they actually want. So then it's like you wasted all this time and effort and energy, and especially years, and especially like women, we don't have the luxury to, waste years and years and years, especially if you're trying to have a child or get married.
Yeah.
And then I
that's
find
why
that I find a lot of young adult females go through that. So it's just like, again, there's a way of asking questions and, having a conversation and having a regular conversation. So, like that, you can get information and you don't look like, oh, you're trying to pressure or you're trying to, like rush things. Because then if you're living in a place of like, oh, whatever, then you're gonna get whatever and whatever, when if that's not what you actually want, then you need to be more upfront of like, oh, like, and again, but you can have these conversations and not look batshit crazy. There's a way to talk and have a conversation with people.
you're not trying to look like
Why is the SVU theme song playing right now, Clement?
She walks up to you with the crazy eyes, like, "Do you want to have kids?"
Say it.
I need kids right now.
I'm so serious. Like, who in their right mind like talks like that and on a first date?
You have
like
no idea.
on the right mind. Be like,
Hold on a second. So if anyone in the chat room, again, welcome back. This is CKQ Podcast. The question right now is, dating should be more of a practical choice and should have little to do with love. If you have anything you'd like to say to that, any questions you'd like to the panel, link is in the description. Join, please. No trolls. All right. Any last comments about that question before we move on to the next one?
But see, that's why I made my point as far as like the equivalent to like a man on the first date just asks a woman right off the bat, like, hey, like, like, let's do this or whatever. Forget like the dinner dates. Forget me, like, take y'all.
Let's not waste time.
Yeah, like let's just do it. Get busy. If that's the case, if you're feeling me like that, let's go.
There are women that are okay with that. Like, I'm sure everyone knows a woman that had sex on the date. But the thing is, it's what led up to that. You know what I mean? It's what led up to that. Like the conversation, the vibe that you guys had is what led up to it. She was like, bet, fine.
Okay, but over time though, I'm not saying like it takes like X amount of dates or like, I mean, and hopefully like not years or months or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about on the first. I mean, yeah, I'm just saying some people will just be like, look, let's just do this or whatever. But it all depends on where the connection is, on where the mindset is. Exactly. I mean, I can't really speak for all because remember, everything's subjective. It's all about, and it depends about what you really want out of this date.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the majority of men, right? If you try to, I don't know, if you try to ask a woman, hey, let's have sex or whatever, right? Maybe if the woman's not really secretly feeling you like that, you know,
out with you.
then she'll probably make excuse, and then she'll probably like look at you like as a creep.
But
like
she would not be out with you. A woman knows within 5 minutes if she would have sex with you, and if she
hold on, John.
I
mean, I agree with that. I agree with that. But hold on, John. Hold on, guys. We got someone from the chat that wants to chime in. What's going on, King?
King boy.
How you doing?
Ooh, man, blessed, man. Blessed, man.
Good.
Definitely.
So, what question would you like to tackle, or what would you like to add to the panel?
I will say this: in men and women relationships, the biggest thing right now is that people have unlimited options, at least in their mind, and because of that, they have expectations that are sometimes not real. You know what I mean? And they're not living in reality. You know what I mean? You can. If you have champagne, you know what I mean, taste, but you only got wine cooler money. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to level up. You can't expect things to be a certain way in your life, or expect certain things, or ask for certain things from a mate, if you're not, one, willing to give that yourself, or two, if you're not willing to basically work and help that person get to that point. You know what I mean? So if you see somebody is at a certain level, and you think that they can be better, and they have the potential to be better, and they possibly can be better, if you're not willing to help them get to that point and be better in your relationship in that area, then you can't get mad at your results.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then people get in these relationships, and then they're frustrated and upset, and then that's where, you know, the side chicks come in, the side guy comes in, and all these things come in, and then if you add kids, it's even worse.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother debacle. And a lot of times, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I want women, the women out here to understand. You know what I mean? Men are not dumb. We do love relationships. We do want relationships. But the thing is, we don't want to be stuck. Just like you don't want to be stuck, and you don't want to be sitting around, you know, barefoot and pregnant and have a bunch of kids running around driving you crazy. We don't want to be stuck paying child support. You know what I mean? We want to be stuck in a bad relationship, and we could have had somebody else as well. So we have the same amount of fears that you do, and understand this too, ladies. For a man, if you get stuck in that child support zone, those 18 years of your life gone, completely gone, and they ain't never coming back. You know what I mean? So you gotta understand that relationships are, and for men, you gotta understand, if you get a woman pregnant, that's all of her life gone too.
Yep.
Fact. So we gotta understand the responsibility of relationships on both sides and give each other that respect and that love.
That's why they need to be practical.
So question for the guys on the panel, because I've always heard that, and also like from TV shows that I've watched and like just doing my research or just asking questions, is it true that a guy knows exactly who he wants to marry or actually be committed to when they first meet? Like a woman.
We know pretty soon.
We know quick.
Yeah, we know.
We know pretty soon. It's like a radar. Honestly, you get it pretty young. That's like you get that radar pretty damn young. Like you know exactly this is a wifey material and she's for the streets.
And when she
like,
hit,
you know,
boom.
So, because the thing is that I find that that's really true. Because I also, like, when I've seen like women go through relationships and they're like, they want this and this and this from a certain relationship, and it's like they finally get it or whatever, and it's still not what they want and whatever. They feel like they have to be with somebody because they had their kid or whatever. I find that they always want something and the other person is not willing on giving it to them. And for me, I just feel like if you're gonna keep on getting whatever, because a guy or a person doesn't change unless they want to change or they find the person that they want to change for. So I'm like, maybe you're just not the person that they really want. Like maybe they're just with you because you accept whatever. But I always felt like guys, when they know, they'll like go to bat for you, and if they really want to be with you, that you won't have to like second guess of wanting or like trying to get things out of them when they would just willingly give it to you because they really want to be with you.
Yep.
And that's why it should be practical and not
That's
about love.
correct.
If you enter every
And that was the whole
relationship
point of that.
in looking at love, we all when women are not as visual as men think they are. They're really not. So all that spending time in the gym, I promise you, with all the muscles, they like to look at you, but they like teddy bears. I'm just gonna let you know they out there. They love a dude who was gonna look at them, make them feel a certain kind of way.
They're
Well, that's what mostly turns women on, anyways. Is
It's how you
engaging
make
to
them
their
feel.
emotions.
It's how you make them feel, right?
It's the way how you talk to them, the
And
way how you hold them.
if you coming in making her really feel all about her insecurities, bro, I'm telling you that's not the right way. If you come to a woman and you make her feel a certain kind of way, y'all, we all gonna change. Everybody's gonna get old. You need to like this person. And the only way you're gonna know if you like this person is you come into the relationship practical. And you will get those answers. You don't have to figure out a slick way to really ask this dude if he want kids. Because guess what? If you his best friend, instead of coming in, why you play video games all the time? Why don't you grab the other joystick and shut up? Why don't you
Exactly. Hey, look, be my player too, girl.
Sit down there and let's play a game. Me and my girl play video games together. We do.
Dope.
We was on the same. That's what we do. We
And
do
that's the whole idea that men want someone that's cooperative.
Yeah.
They want somebody that would just give them peace.
And women are built to be cooperative.
Yeah.
And the research is in on that, folks.
Yeah.
Out
All
of
right.
1,000 plus sample.
Think about
King,
like this.
King, do you have one last statement before we move on to our next question?
Sure. I think that the biggest thing is self-improvement overall for both men and women. You have to work and be happy with yourself. Okay? That means getting up early, meditating, or getting up whenever you get up. Some people like to sleep in, whatever. Get up whenever you get up, meditating. You know what I mean? If you're in some type of religious group, reading, you know, that word or those words that inspire you. You know what I mean? Going, working out, getting them endorphins going. You know what I'm saying? Taking a shower or a bath. I know that sounds so common, but hygiene. Some people ain't common. You know what I mean? They may not know what to do. They may not know what deodorant or whatever to put on. You know what I'm saying? Or what cologne or what perfume to wear. All that's important. You know what I'm saying? Your parents, the clothes you wear, all those things. But there has to be something that you work on inside. You got to love you first. Spend time with you first. Do the things that you love to do first and build on you first for both men and women, whether it's your career, love life, anything. You have to focus on you first. Eat healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Do the things that you love to do, and that's going to help you be a better person overall and stay positive and stay full of love. And you will find that right person. That's easy. That's cakewalk. Because now you have the confidence to look for yourself and everything else works out.
I completely agree with you.
Dope. That was good. That was a nice. King, I really appreciate you coming up to the panel. Definitely stay tuned. Join me every Wednesday because you definitely have some great things to say, my man. Appreciate you.
No problem, y'all. Later.
All right.
It's always the words of wisdom, man.
Awesome
I
stuff.
completely agree with him, and that's what I say all the time. That was good.
We're gonna go on to the next question, and then we're gonna go on to the reaction video. All right. Okay. Next question. More money she makes, the more his status matters. More money he makes, the less her status matters. M3, take us away.
Okay, the more money she makes, the more his status matters, right? You mind if you come back to me with that one?
Oh, what? I gave you a whole hour. No,
I know.
Stephanie, go for it.
I don't necessarily agree. Like the second part, the more money he makes, the less her status matters. Like it depends on the woman. But I know you generalize. So to you, most women, that her status might matter less. But to me, like it depends on the woman. If the woman like never had a career or like never had any goals in her life, then sure, she's her status is well secured. But what happens if her husband dies, the father of her kids dies? Like that's it. Like her income is out. The person that she was in love with that kind of made her who she is out. Like she's gonna have to get her shit together. So I don't think that's necessarily
I'm
true.
saying more for the man. So more for her when
Okay.
she makes more money, his status matters. But for him, when he makes more money, the less hers matters.
Okay. So the reason why I had to ask ask someone else real quick, because that could be like a little tricky a little bit with that question, because the thing is, like, when I look at women who's making more money, right, it takes me back to like what I hear what a lot of like celebrities go through, or what a lot of like average men go through. And like when a woman makes more money, it kind of changes the attitude a little bit, because see, the thing is, women typically usually wants to like date up, and men typically usually wants to date down, if that makes sense. And
Hypergamy.
so yeah, and so like when it comes like to like status for a man, I mean, status is probably like, I don't know, somewhat like reliable, like if you're trying to maintain that woman. But I don't really see a woman respecting a man when she's making like a whole lot. You know what I mean? Not all women, because I know there's some relationships where it's like, there's women that that has great careers, great
Stand on your ground, my
professions.
man. Stand on your ground.
No, I'm serious. But
You
there's women that,
generalize.
yeah, there's women that makes more, right? And there's some that do respect the man, but it depends on their upbringing. Like I say, everything depends on subjective, but I'm just saying the majority, they're not going to respect a man that's going to be making less of them. You can even like watch like Kevin Samuel shows, and you could tell like all these these so-called high earners or these low income earners, wants a man that makes like 6 figures or above. Otherwise, like, this is not a selectable of their choice.
Man, that's stupid.
Yeah.
So let's say this. It's essentially, I'll give an example. If he is making 100K, he doesn't care if she is only making 40K.
Nope. Don't.
No, he don't.
If she is making 100K,
She cares.
she cares if he's only making 40K.
Yeah,
That's
because
that's what I mean by this question.
Okay, because status for a woman is more important than status for a man. Women's the one that usually care about status, trying to care about impressing their friends, girlfriends, whoever, their family. Men don't really care too much about status like that. And even if a man has like high status, I don't think it really matters too much. It's just what benefits like for the woman, what gives her that security. And for men, like the more money you have, the more options that you have, and the more power that you have. If you're just a guy that is struggling trying to make ends meet, and she's like paying all like the bills and all that, the respect factor is not going to be as high as an average woman who's making less than a man. But like I said, most women are delusional, and they want men to like make that 6-figure income, and they're broke as a joke.
I'll be devil's advocate. Like,
okay,
if I make 100,000, but my significant other only makes 40,000, but he like gives me the world, as in he gives me his time, because he only makes 40,000. He probably only works 40 hours a week or part time. So yes, he might not like monetarily be in my status as like, oh, I have so much respect for him, but when it comes to time, like at the end of the day, time is what we have. So if he can't give me it financially, it's okay, because I'm good with my 100,000. I got myself. But if he shares his time with me, I value that, because what if someone else who makes 100,000 or more, yes, they make more than him and I, but they can't give me their time because they're always making more money. So what's that good for me if, yeah, you have money, but I don't have you because you're making money? Like,
I don't think a woman would mind being with a man that makes 40K while she makes 100K, as long as she sees him, like, as long as he's motivated, as long as he's working hard, like towards something.
Exactly.
Okay, he's
See,
doing 40K, but like he's
see,
working
but
towards
that's
Okay, the motivate. Okay,
now.
okay.
But if he's comfortable in that 40K and he's okay, with his 40K, he's fine. He's, everything's great. I feel like that's a little like, why aren't you working for more? Like, what's the bigger goal? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
but that's what I mean. Like when a lot of times women say like, oh, but I want him to be ambitious. I want him to be motivated. All these are like, okay, he can make that, but he has to be planning on making more than that later on.
As
That's
long
really
as
what
he's
that means.
motivated in something,
Okay.
and he's very like not at home. Like, okay, on his off time, he's just at home chilling, doing nothing. It's like you could be doing more. As
But
long as
that's what I'm saying.
Wait, okay. Let me ask you this question. I'm sorry to interrupt, but hold on, because I just wanted to say stop the cap real quick. But let me ask you this question.
Stop the cat.
Okay, if a man is that ambitious, right? Let's just say like, okay, you making 100K, right? And you have that man that's making like 35K, 40K, and he's super ambitious. Like, he's like hustle and flow. He's trying to like work his way up. But there's certain opportunities there's certain roadblocks that he's reaching that he's not able to make, higher to that 100K or above.
that's fine.
So you're okay with a guy who's ambitious, but still on that same level where he was at before.
As long as he's reaching for something, it's perfectly fine. Because I feel like the only turn up that women get is if a guy has no motivation at all, and it's just literally doing nothing and is comfortable. If you're a guy that's comfortable with 40K, that's a turn off. But if you're reaching, if you even like, you could be home. Let's say I don't know, you make music or something. I don't know.
Selling CDs.
Selling CDs off the block.
So he probably don't have no job. He works no job, but he's ambitious.
Every day, making that music, making like that shit is sexy. That's not a problem.
I think for a short term in the relationship, yes, but I think for the entirety of a relationship, he eventually is going to need to match you or make more.
I mean, I've heard the nice, polite and responses, and I appreciate that. But here's the real deal:
Let us
a
know.
man is not going to go for that high value woman. He's just not going to choose her.
The high
He
earnings.
knows he makes 40,000, and he finds out that she make 100. He's out.
It's
He's not gonna
intimidating.
do it. Period. He don't
so?
out. Nice. Yeah, he's out. He's not going to do it because he doesn't feel like a man. Dissonance is real. That is a real deal. That's a real thing. He is not going to go. Check with some of you. Poll the audience. I can call one up right now. She make $165,000 a year. She been single for 4 years. Don't nobody want to date her. Because how many men make over 100 and some thousand, or even 100, close to that?
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
It might not be the money, but it might be the attitude behind the money, though. Because here's the thing, right? If you're a secure man, right?
Mhm.
That actually is like more like an insecure man, right? That's what it sounds like. But
Exactly.
for a man that's secure with himself, right? You could go with like doctors, lawyers, or whatever. But the thing is, it's not about how much money that she's making that's intimidating, man. It's the attitude behind the high earner. If you're like, you want a man to be humble, but if you're arrogant, no man ain't gonna want to date you.
Yeah.
If you're not taking care of yourself and you just thinking like, okay, money and your career status is what's gonna get you these men and what's gonna make these men fall in love with you. Because remember, you said earlier, men and women, they do think differently. Men look at women they fall in love with their eyes. Women, they fall in love with men like based off like their financial stability, what he could do, what he could provide. So if you have a woman who's making that amount of money, right, more than you, I don't really have a problem with it.
It's kind of
just that if you have a bad attitude, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to cooperate,
Well,
then
the thing is, what the character traits that you're going to need to develop to gain that level of money, because the higher you go up the totem pole to be making in the six figures or high in the six figures, you're going to be needing to, one, work a lot of hours. Two, you're probably going to be need to combat a lot of people to be gaining that level of money. And those traits are not necessarily what men want in a woman. Does that make sense?
They do not pursue those women.
Because they're insecure. Because some men find that
They're
motivational.
insecure.
Some men find that motivational, and they're like, "Oh, my woman is a hustler." Like,
No, it's not. It's not about that, because it's not the fact that they're. And I'll pull you right up, Maxwell, after I say this. It's not about that. The fact of being insecure. It's more when we come home, we don't want to have to deal with someone who is equally, like, if they're both making 100K and they're both very forceful with their thoughts, he's not going to want to deal with that.
it does depend on the attitude, like he said, like MJ said.
Yeah, for sure. That's
at home. It depends on the attitude at home.
If I can speak, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let Melissa speak really quickly, and then I'll add Maxwell to the stream.
Okay. I just want to start off by saying this. Like, I understand, like, a lot of times, like, women are painted as a person, like, we're always looking for somebody to provide a lifestyle for us or whatever. But it's just like, I feel like everybody at the end of the day is in charge of their own happiness. And it's like, why? And I feel like this for me, why should I have to rely on somebody else or, be with somebody else to try to provide a type of lifestyle for me when I should be working on that for myself, for my own inner happiness?
Right.
So it's just like, yes, I understand, like, yeah, you want to be with somebody that you know that you're going to have stability with, but your inner happiness, you're in charge of that. That's your responsibility. You shouldn't be looking at that, oh, unless this person gives me this, then I'm not going to be happy, when you should be focusing on getting that and garnering that for yourself. And that's just how I feel like. And the thing is that, yes, I want to be with somebody that, yeah, like, if I'm working towards a goal, that person doesn't necessarily have to work towards the same goal that I'm working at, but he can be making less money than me, but just as long as he's passionate about, like, if he's like philanthropic, I find that when you're very immersed in your community and you want to give back and you want to affect the world, whatever that entails, whether it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, like, music or whatever for like little kids or whatever, and because that's like a passion of mine for right now or whatever. Like, women like men that, yeah, you may not make money, because to be honest, I feel like it's also respecting, because a lot of people may not want to be with the garbage person, but a garbage man, but they're making a lot of money.
They make bank. I mean,
and they make bank, and they have a lot of benefits. So
it's the visual appearance.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like, that at the end of the day, when even if you're being practical, it's just also like a respecting, because I would treat like the president the same respect that I would treat, a janitor that was in my school. Like, I wasn't raised to be like classist in that way. And it's just like, again, I feel like everybody's in charge of their own happiness. And it's like, I also,
wait, hold on. I feel another long thought coming, and I want you to hold on to it, because I definitely want Maxwell to speak. Max,
hello,
how you doing?
I am doing okay. So I am calling you guys from Portugal. So it's 2 a.m.
Portugal? What?
Yes.
Damn, that's dope.
I've been there. It's beautiful.
Damn, that's dope. Enlighten us, my brother.
So
talk to us.
Stop.
What I was trying just to
dating wise become easier. Wait, what? I don't get it.
Huh?
So what I was trying just to talk about the topic is that the two ladies on the top, I think is Natasha. Basically, she's describing an high value man, just like Kevin Samuel said, right? She's saying the same thing in different words. So you don't want the person just by who he is, but the potential of who he can become. So you holding on that idea of the potential that he can make more money and more money. But what's happening if life's happen? He gets injured or something like that. You gonna be still with him?
If he gets injured and he stays in bed and does not try to, better himself, like, go to therapy, do this, that's like a turn off. But if I see him even trying to get up, trying to, like whatever.
Wow,
fix
my
his
man a
legs.
warrior.
It's like, yeah, you can't walk, but you're trying to, you going to therapy. You're not letting depression get to you. You know what I mean? Like that's still a sexy thing.
I understand that, but you still searching for something that he doesn't have currently. That is the issue here that I have with when you're talking about he has to be motivated to earn more money or something like that.
I feel like
Because yeah,
your person and your partner, you guys should have both motivation, because if let's say he's a lazy guy, he's comfortable. I feel like eventually I'm gonna be comfortable. I'm gonna be like, like I feel like that energy
Will shift to you.
especially you guys live together. I feel like I'm gonna start getting lazy. I'm gonna start getting comfortable. I feel like your partner kind of reflects who you are in a way. So it's like,
but
I want you to stay motivated. I want to be motivated. Like, let's do this. It doesn't matter if you're not making more money. It's okay. But as long as I see you at the house, like I don't want to leave my house and you're in the house. Come back to the house and you're still in the house. Like I want
so
you to,
Rug's not
there
even
is something very
vacuumed.
funny
Dishes in the
like,
that you
sink.
say that is
nothing.
I have a
I can't go
question
to
to
work
ask,
that
but
he's feeling on because now I am a software engineer, so I know that automation is gonna come. So with automation, I can stay at home and then I'm still making money.
But that's an
So
example. That was an example.
no, I'm just giving that the example also.
Michael
And
thinks
the other
that
thing that
women
I
in love with
the other
potential.
thing that I want to try to say before leaving this is just generally when the guys fall in love for you, is falling in love for you right now. It's not your potential, right? Generally, ladies try always to see you by your potential. I'm gonna give you my personal example. I was in my last year in the high school, and a girl approached me, and we started dating for one year and a half, even after I entered into college. And one of these days, I asked her, "Why you approach me?" She said, "Well, I approached you because you won one of the competition in math class." So I was thinking, "Wow, this guy could be a good catch for me." This was her original intention.
It's a
This is
practical
what I
choice.
was
Smart.
trying to say. Just that you guys see a lot of potential, not the person that it is in the moment. And you're
Well,
just trying to say, okay, maybe I can change you, maybe I can give him something. But if the person doesn't change, your feeling for that person gonna change. That's the catch here.
so you're
The
you're
person remain
essentially
the same.
saying men love idealistically and women love opportunistically.
I would say that. I could agree with that. But I don't think it is a bad thing. But the problem is when you don't manage it the right way, because eventually it's gonna become an issue because the expectations are different. You know, you won't fly in first class, but you're flying in economics, so it's gonna be different. That's
Awesome,
it.
awesome.
I love
Max,
the show, and I'm gonna subscribe for sure. And
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very
sorry,
much.
I'm filling the comment section with my
Yeah,
things.
listen, keep become a keyboard warrior. I want people to battle on there. There we go. But
Okay.
every Wednesday at 8:30, man, I host my show, so would love to have you come back on. Remember, everyone gets only one question that they could come up to the panel for to argue with. So pick your question
Okay.
wisely.
Thank
But
you
thank you for
guys
coming
for
out.
having me.
All right.
speaking of questions, I have just one question to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so this probably will be for like Natasha, but when a guy loses motivation, well, for anybody, when a guy loses motivation, what can women do to help encourage that man to stay motivated?
Ooh.
Anything. Like,
My man,
That was a
throwing
good
you
wait,
ladies on the spot.
Yeah, give him one of them buzzer things. That was
All right, all right, there we go. Or
I
you
feel
know,
like one of
you
them,
have this one. You have that one.
I feel like one of them is the way you speak to your men. Like, I feel like words are very motivational. Words
hello.
of affirmation.
Come
They're
on.
very motivational. The way you speak to him, the way you, not for everyone, because I feel like if you treat your men and say things that like makes it worse, it's like,
So, what about action stand if words may not be helpful? I mean, words do have power. I will say that.
words have a lot of power. Yeah. Action. Listen, if you need anything, like I know a lot of men don't like women helping them economically because I don't know. I don't know,
Pride,
only because of pride. Yes, they don't like that. But if my man needs, let's say, money to get to the studio, I can help you. I got you.
Don't even tell me.
And not even throw it in your face. Like, do these things low key. Whatever you need. If you need me to drive you there, if you need whatever motivation that you need, that would be the actions that I would do. I would pay for him. Not throw it in his face. A lot of women do that. Also with the attitude, I don't know. That's what I would do.
Or like, let's say he wants to be healthier, lose weight, but he doesn't find the motivation to go. Yo, we out. Like, let's go. Let's consider this a date. Let's go eat healthy. Let's go get a salad. Let's go walk the park. Like, we're being active. We're staying healthy, but we're doing it together. So you don't feel like you're by yourself, and you don't feel like, oh, it's a drag. No, we're gonna make it fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Melissa, do you want to add to that?
Like both of them. Go ahead.
Yeah. Melissa, would you like to add to that?
Wait, what was the question again? Because it was breaking out.
Well, you know what? We're going on to the video now. All right.
All right.
You got to be on key. All right. So we're gonna do a quick video reaction, and yeah, buddy. And if you guys could do me a favor and mute your mics really quick. All right. This is a channel, another channel, Fresh and Fit podcast. Fair use.
Okay, but why is it two different things though? That's two different things. You can express how you feel and still go handle your business. So if you're not handling your business, that's another thing. So if you're just sitting here crying.
Really quick, the topic was, are men like really allowed to show their emotions? That's really what we came into the middle of a conversation.
And not doing nothing.
Hold on.
We don't like that shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. It's gonna trigger you guys, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it anyway because I'm gonna hit you guys with facts. You guys are talking a whole bunch of feelings right now.
Oh, hey.
This happens all the time, right? The thing is that if you listen to female dating advice or you listen to how to deal with women from women, they're going to tell you things that are going to inherently make you less attractive to them because it's politically correct.
Yeah.
Let me explain. You guys are saying open up. It's okay to be sensitive. Blah blah blah.
I can agree with that.
That is cap. You want to know why that's cap? That's cap because we have the statistics to show what happens when men are more feminine. We have over 50% of marriages end in divorce. 80% of marriages end in divorce with the woman initiating. Men are no longer men. Men are soft. Why? Because they listen to this bullshit propaganda. No offense to you guys. No offense at all. But it is bullshit because the more men act like women, the more it repulses women because women don't want a woman. They want an emotional rock, a man that's stable, that can control his emotions and not sit there and cry. Let me finish.
Sorry.
They do not want a man that's feminine and emotional like them. Women want a rock, they want a leader, they want someone that they can lean on in times of peril. If you are sitting here crying when someone's breaking into the house or when situations are tough or rough, immediately what's going to happen is that girl might sit there and cry with you and be like, I got you, baby, whatever. But deep down, arousal is going to go down because women are hardwired. As much as you guys want to sit here and cap and say, oh, it's okay, open up to me. You guys are hardwired to be repulsed by bitch-ass niggas.
So we're going to go back to that video. But what thoughts?
What?
Yeah, I mean,
fact. 100.
Men now these days, man, they are soft. Unfortunately, a lot of them has been heavily emasculated, and I think because men take a lot of women too seriously. They cater to so many women that they become simps. And then they don't value their own selves and they don't respect their own livelihood. So why would you expect a woman to respect you as a man?
Natasha, I hear your eyes rolling over there.
Man, her eyes rolling. Definitely smiling. Natasha's eyes rolling. Well, it's like, what? John's like, hey, man, look, I'm old school, man. So strong generation, man.
Yeah.
So,
back in the day, bro. Boy,
ladies, what do you think? Do you think guys need to show more of their emotions?
Hell no.
Let Melissa go first. We answered the other one.
Is she unfrozen? She's still here?
No, wait. I'm just laughing because you asked the question and John was like, "Oh hell no!" Like
John knows what's up.
But oh my god. Okay, I feel okay. Listen, and maybe I don't know, because as a female, I don't know what it is, but like with me, maybe it's the Aquarius in me. Like for me to be able to like cry, it takes a lot. Like it does. Like I have to be either very, very hurt or like stressed out for me to like break down and sob. Because other than that, like my disposition is very, cheerful. I may get upset, like I'm human, whatever. So it's just like that's how I am. I'm not necessarily saying that my partner has to be that way, because when you're in a partnership with somebody, you want to be able to be vulnerable with them. Is like where you lack, they got you. Where they lack, you got them, right? That's what you want. But to be honest, if a robber was like coming into my house and all of a sudden like I'm the one that's taking action and the guy's just like, no, you go do it, or like starts breaking down.
That attraction is.
I'm going to be like, what the
baby,
hell? I'm
please.
Gonna be like,
that's a scary man at the door, baby, please.
I'm gonna be like, no, and then that's when I'm gonna be like, maybe this is not what I thought, or what, like, no, I'll admit it, like I'll be like kind of like turned off, disappointed, and like like just like what, like correct. Okay, right.
Stephanie, what do you think? Okay. Sorry, and I'll come back to you, M3.
I know it's tough to believe, but like at least the women in my generation, like we are tough as tough as they come. Like we don't really have time. I live in New York. We don't have time to be sitting around crying, dwelling on like. At least for me, I'm definitely a woman of action. Like I might like be in the shower crying. I might schedule one of those sessions, but that's not like regularly. That's like 3 times a year kind of thing.
I got my 3 p.m. cry in the shower session.
It helps. When therapy is too expensive or like non-existent, you gotta do what you gotta do. But that's not like some.
No, you know what? And sometimes you schedule, you have some wine, and you're like, you know what? It's gonna come out, and then you move on.
And you automatically feel better. But like, so if I'm like that, I expect my man to be like that or more. Like, if I don't cry a lot, don't be crying a lot. Like.
Oh, okay. I thought. All right. So you're saying you like your man to actually be a rock. Like you like to be him to be a little bit more stoic, a little bit more in control of his emotions.
Yeah, don't hide it, but like, yo, get your shit together. If you gotta cry, do your crying session in the shower, like I do. It hurts a little.
like a big girl, cry in the shower.
Yeah, but you are definitely allowed to cry, allowed to feel like you're not your day anymore. Because it happens to the best of us.
All right. Now, Miss eye rolling right next to you. Let's hear it. All right.
Eye rolling Natasha. Let's go.
I think. Well, me, I like balance. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Oh boy!
Don't you disappoint me on this one? Don't you do it? I've been with you all night. I'll be like, yes. Don't you mess it up now, boy? You 100% right now.
What the?
I like balance. I kind of it's so like cute when a guy can literally vent, like when you're his best friend and he can literally vent to you and talk exactly shit that makes him uncomfortable. And that makes me happy.
Okay, I know I did my eye. Yeah, but manipulate me with your tears, tampoco.
No. I'm not talking about tears. I like balance.
Listen,
John said turtle snap now. Go underneath my hoodie.
I'm saying I like balance. I do like when a man can vent to me. Like it makes me feel special. You know what I mean? When he can come to me. Obviously, he's not gonna be crying every week.
Like a bull, then.
You want that man that sees a cherry blossom tree and kind of like, baby, it's so.
No, I told him
It's just so damn beautiful.
You want that little teddy bear, right? They're like,
I told him about important things, like things that he does not talk about with other people, things that like that make him uncomfortable.
Okay. All right.
Hold on, John.
John's back. All right.
No. Hold on, John.
Natasha.
She want him back. Finish, Natasha, and then we'll finish the rest of the video, and then we'll continue.
Okay. Yeah, I when things that make him uncomfortable, if he can talk to me about those things, not like obviously he's not gonna be crying every week, every day. None of that. That's kind of like unattractive. But balance is good. Of course I want my man to, hold it down, be a man, all that, all that sexy stuff. But I also want a man that can talk to me, be real with me. If he gotta cry sometimes, it happens. You know what I mean? Fuck it. But I don't know. I like balance. I don't like to be in a cold-hearted ass relationship that we can't fucking talk about nothing. I don't know if I could curse in your mouth.
So sometimes you just gotta
but isn't that
fucking punch him in the chest, like, yo, man up, bitch.
You want to
to talk to you? I want that. I want the balance.
Oh damn, Clement. Okay.
Shit.
No, but that's what I was like. So you could be able to talk to somebody, but if like, I'm sorry, like if Rob, like again, like I
listen.
We're gonna there's a little bit more in this video, which is gonna be touching on pretty much everything we're talking about right now. So, if you can mute your mics again really quickly. Enough of the eye rolling, Natasha. Right? Enough of that. I hear it.
Oh, if I sit there and cry to you, you might tolerate it once, you might tolerate it twice. But after a period of time, me continuously crying to you and me no longer being a rock, you will lose attraction and leave me at some point. This is why this advice is dangerous to men, because women condition men to be just like girls, saying it's okay to open up, it's okay to be emotional, all this other fucking fuck shit. That does not work.
Wow.
You be open and that have the same masculine problem as you. This is why I say all the time, men need tribes, men need male friends that they can confide in and talk to. Because unfortunately, ladies, for you guys don't live the same reality we do. You don't live the same experience we do. You guys have a bunch of privileges and rights and accesses that men will never get. Therefore, you're not in a position equipped to tell a man how to act or how to operate, and more importantly, how to control his emotions, because you're going to use your female lens of how he should control his emotions, which that is inherently going to put him at a disadvantage when dealing with the opposite gender. Women never tell the truth about what it takes for a man to actually be attractive. Women deep down want a man who's emotionally unavailable, a fuckboy, and a dick. Why? Because he can control his emotions. He doesn't sit there and cry on her.
No. That's
Let me finish. There's a reason why bad boys get girls. There's a reason why guys that are dicks and fuckboys get girls, because they hide their emotions, and it's arousing. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just simply telling you guys, they're arousing for doing that.
Gosh.
It's an attractive trait in men. So my advice is this, to finish. As a guy, if you have a girlfriend, serious girlfriend, wife, whatever it is, if you have problems, okay, you go and you deal with it with your male friends that are better equipped to advise you. You don't go and tell your girl about it. You just let her know everything's going to be okay. I got this.
Yeah, it's nothing like a stoic man who's just like all about his personal business, ain't worried about the riffraff, ain't all highly emotional. Those are the things that turn women on, man. Here's the thing, right? There's a thin line to be at least a little bit vulnerable.
Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay to kind of tell, like, hey, look, like this is what I'm going through. But you can't be a bitch, man. You can't be a crying ass bitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know church will teach you these things, like, oh, it's okay to cry, and go ahead and lean on like your wife's like shoulder, and she should be like your everything. But a woman wants a man who's able to control his emotions, because in a dire situation, if a man can control his emotions, he could think rationally, and he could learn how to get him and his woman out of a dangerous situation. So when you're crying like a woman, that's what turns them off, because they could do that, but they look for us to be their protectors. So yeah, take it to your guy friends. Like, if you want to boohoo and cry and share some tears, like, maybe you might find some, compassionate type of guy friends that would be like, all right, homie, like, whatever.
Or go to therapy.
Natasha, you've had a lot to say. You've had a lot to say. Let's hear it. You had a lot you wanted to say. Let's rephrase it that way.
Oh, damn. All I'm saying is I like balance. That's all I'm saying. Again, that's all I'm saying. Like
That's
like
a cop out. That is a cop out answer, right?
No, I like when a man is yes.
There goes John.
It's
There
not a-
goes John.
I know what you're
I like
talking
when a man
about,
can hold
though.
it down.
Hold on. Let her talk. Let her talk.
I like when a man can hold it down. That is the sexiest thing. But also, if he can like literally talk to me about things that make him uncomfortable, you know, like if he's comfortable with me enough to tell me things like that, and like fuck it. Sometimes again, tears come out. He's not crying like a bitch, but like you know, sometimes life is really that tough. So tears fucking come out, but not like crying every week. I'm saying like from time to time, shit happens. Talk to me. The fuck?
Let me ask you guys this though: does a bad boy turn women on? This is for ladies.
Balance.
Do not lie.
Balance.
Because we know the numbers.
Do you love an asshole?
I personally don't. I don't feel like they're approachable, so I would go for them. But I know some women are like, wow, this guy's so manly. That's my type. Like, it just depends on who you are. But I wouldn't go for them. I'd be like, wow, that's too much for me.
What's your do you know that? Like, well, okay. Do you guys know the definition of a bad boy?
Do we know what definition of a bad boy? Enlighten us.
Are you taking bad boy or fuck boy? Or is,
Well,
is
no,
that
I was trying to say, yeah,
a bad boy.
Yeah, just like a bad boy.
No, to be honest, I feel like we all go through that, like especially as females, where we date the bad boy or whatever you want to call it. Like I don't like lack of a better word, I don't like assholes. Like I really don't. Like I don't like that. I don't like that. Like what?
That's more of a fuck boy.
That's a fuck boy. Yeah, correct. That's what I was saying.
That's more of a fuck boy. That's not a bad boy. I'm a bad boy.
And I feel like it depends because like I don't like like that's what I mean. Like I don't like an F boy. That's what I mean. Like I don't like. I just feel like it's a waste of time. And trust me, I feel like as like young adult women, we've all gone through that where we've dealt with a person that was like that, and it's not all it's cracked up to be. Like it's a waste of time. Somebody like that.
The answer that you don't want, like, you know, like a F boy or fuck boy or whatever, if I could say it on stream, but I'm talking about like a bad boy. You know, that's why I kind of stop and ask, well, okay, wait a minute. Before I even say bad boy, like, what is your definition? What do you think a bad boy is? You know?
I just feel like a bad boy meaning like a badass person, like a badass man or like a badass woman. Like I feel like that. Like, do you mean like that?
No.
But that's what John said. That's a fuck boy.
That's a fuck boy.
What do you mean? No, but what do you mean?
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example.
That's like, what do you mean like a bad boy? What do you mean by that?
I'll give you an example. Because I'm a bad boy. If you said to me, if we was in a relationship together and you, for some reason, you having a bad day, and you said, you didn't call me the fucking day at such and such time, and I want to know because you mad at somebody else, but you're going to take it out on me as something I just forgot to do. I might say, look, I don't know who you're talking to like that, but you ain't talking to me like that. And I'm sorry I didn't call you, but maybe tomorrow I'll do it, but watch how you talk to me because I ain't your doormat. You understand? Whoever you mad at, get that with them. And then I'll leave you alone. That's the difference between a bad boy and a fuck boy. I'm going to acknowledge that you're upset, and I'm going to hear and let you know, and I will work on that, but I'm not going to allow you to talk to me any kind of way. Now, nigga that's in his emotions, like, baby, why is this like, are you mad at me for real? I'm so sorry. I will never let it happen again.
And that's usually a nice guy.
And that's Mr. Nice Guy. That's who y'all don't want. Y'all want that dude who's going to be like, who are you talking to? Like, you got me fucked up.
Like, bitch, I'm talking to you.
That's a bad boy. Right.
So hold on. There's another video. There's another quick video that I want to put up really quick. Pretty much describing exactly what John is saying. So if you guys can mute your mics real quick.
Thank you, Ron, for that. What I was trying to say.
All right, this is another one of your favorites. All right. Fair use, fair use.
All right.
So Myron, your turn on the clock.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep this nice, short, and sweet. So this was less than a year ago. This was like 3-4 months ago. I went on a date with this chick, like German girl, like real estate agent, whatever, like every girl here in Miami, Florida, from South Florida. And when I went out with her, I wasn't trying to drink, so we went to go get some tacos, and one of these spots down. Actually, no, I'll say it. No, I gotta say the name. All right, yeah, fuck them niggas, Pilos, bro. The one here in Brickell, trash. I hate that place. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. I was about to beat up the owner, but that's a whole other thing. So anyway, I go there with the chick. You have to go there. So I'm gonna say it is what it is. Yeah, fuck that place. So anyway, I go there, right? I go there with this chick, right?
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
I go there with this chick, right? And we're sitting there, and she orders her food. I ordered like a orange soda because I just felt like having some orange soda this one time. I hadn't drank soda for a few months at this point. I was really on the fitness grind, so I was like, I want this orange soda. So she orders her food, whatever, and we're having a conversation. So she's like, okay, so tell me what's going on with you? Like, well, what's up with you? And the girl's like, what's going on? I was like, well, I'm just seeing some girls right now, whatever, just casually dating, whatever. She like just like abruptly like blurts, so you're just fucking people? And I was like, and I like looked her dead in the eye, and I was like, yo, you're fucking rude. What's wrong with you? And she was like, oh, well, I didn't mean it like that. I was like, did anyone like not teach you etiquette? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. She had like an accent, so she had been in the United States for a bit. Maybe there was a language barrier or whatever, but nah, I ain't going to give her that excuse. She was just rude. Yeah. And one thing is, if you guys know, as you guys have seen on the show, like I have a very low tolerance for like rude women, bro. Like, listen, I'm not your boyfriend. I'm not some.
John, I saw you nodding in very much approval right there. You're muted.
Yeah. Bro, the way you start off is the way you gonna finish. See, when you start giving up everything because you a simp, like how M3 referred to way earlier when we first started talking, if you become a simp, hey, look, you can't call me at this time. This is what I'm doing. Today I go do this. I got you tomorrow. What you mean? That's what I just said. I'll go over it again. Tomorrow I'm doing this with my homeboy. We do this every Wednesday. Because when you get out, she's not gonna mind because she's watching your pattern any damn way. Because the minute you break that pattern, that's when her red flags is gonna go off with you anyway. So however you start, that's how you're going. So if you start off by letting her talk to you crazy, she's gonna always talk to you crazy. And eventually she's gonna start cussing you out until she get tired of you because you're boring. You're a yes man. You're a nice guy.
Mm-hmm. Melissa, go.
Okay, so I just don't think that technically makes you like a bad boy or a bad girl. Like, would you consider that if a female was to give you her boundaries and be like, don't talk to me a certain way, would you consider her that being a bad girl?
What, like if I was talking to her like crazy and she said,
yeah, because if you're saying that if you're considered a bad boy because if a female was to talk to you a certain way, you wouldn't accept that type of behavior, so that makes you a bad boy. Would you call a girl that's not going to tolerate that nonsense either of being disrespected or being spoken to in a certain type of manner a bad girl? Like if you were to talk to her crazy,
I would give it the same intrinsic value. I would give it the same intrinsic value. Like, hell yeah, that's what I want. And I will brag about that. I'm like, my girl don't let me just talk to her any kind of way. That's sexy. Like, I don't want no girl who I can just talk to crazy. Because then I'll mess around and rank you. Because this alpha's over here all day, I'm telling you.
Because the thing is, I just don't think it's just being a bad girl or a bad boy. I just feel like it's about having standards of what you expect of how you want to be treated in your relationship. I think it's just called standards.
It's more
because
to
like
the
I'm
bad
sorry.
boy thing.
Wait, what?
It's more to the bad boy thing, like making you pursue. I'm always gonna keep you all balanced. I'm not gonna text you.
I don't like that either because like I wouldn't want to be with somebody that I have to be going through like loops, like all these things to be like wanting their attention or like wanting them to.
I mean, but
walking on eggshells.
let me ask you this, Melissa. Let me ask you this: Do you think women and men have to play the similar mental game to get into relationships?
Well, to be like these days, yeah. Well, because I feel like back in the old times, it was a very clear cut way of thinking of like what women were supposed to do to attract. And I'm not talking about like, of course, like there's other types of relationships, especially like LGBTQ, but whatever. I'm talking about like in the heterosexual way, like. Back in the day, it was like the women were supposed to act a certain way and the men were supposed to act a certain way.
That's like
the women changed, but men have not changed.
The women that have men have not changed. The women who are single, they changed, and that's why they're single. that's just the way that goes.
But that's the thing. Well, maybe it's also because it's like. Women's priorities have changed now. It's not the same how it used to be, because before, back in those days, women used to go to school because they were, you have to go to college or you have to go to high school so you can meet your significant other. It wasn't necessarily for them to get an education. That's what school purposes were used for back in those times. Whereas now, like women actually, wait, what?
It's still not essential.
So when we're essentially talking about dating, when two people are dating, John is saying what women look for in men has not changed. What men look for in women has not changed. Women have changed, but men, I would say men have changed too. Men have become softer.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah. But that's when it comes to dating, men and women still look for pretty much the same thing.
Melissa done tricked me because I thought Melissa was like early 20s, mid 20s. Melissa done told on herself, because if I say courting, she know what I'm talking about.
If you say what?
Courting. Courtship. Yep.
I'm actually. Oh, well, no,
my man John is a savage. My man John is a savage. Jesus.
Why can't hear?
I'm glad that you thought like I was in my teenage early 20 years, but I'm actually 30.
Okay.
No.
So you may not have heard them. You still would know. You would know. You've heard courting before. It depends on where you're from, though. Are you from like the north?
Yes.
Okay. Y'all probably
I am
up there. But anyway, that's to get to know you phase.
I've heard of the term courtship. Yes, I've heard of that. I feel like we've all heard of that. We've all read books about like back in the day there used to be courtship. There's still courtships to this day, depending on your religion or what you practice.
I feel like courtships is easily skipped. I feel like people don't practice on courtship.
Relationships work.
Yes.
It was rules to courtship. And some of those rules is what I was talking about before. You got to establish that friendship. You have got to know there's a likability about this person. Because guess what? Everything that we've been talking about today, at the end of the day, if that's your girl, if that's your dude, when I say that, I don't mean in a possessionship way, like this my guy. Like I like spending more time with this man than anybody else. Or I like spending more time with this girl than anybody else. Y'all will let a whole lot of shit slide. Because that's just your person. That's your person. If he can open up and talk to Natasha and have conversation with her, but turn around, if a dude gets sideways with her, he'll jump right to her defense. He in there like swimwear, and really, she don't care if he didn't clean up this evening. I'm just saying, she'll let him sit around on the couch a little bit.
Yeah.
What say ye, Natasha?
I just feel like courtship is missing off so much in these relationships. Like
hold on, someone's mic is a little staticky. We're getting like.
Is it my mic?
I don't know. It
sounds mine.
Yeah, sounds a little better now.
Oh, okay, but you guys can hear me well too. Okay. Well, Chef
right.
is not ahead, so I guess we're good. No, I just want to say like, yeah, people are missing like the opportunity of like just building like that friendship.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people they kind of like rule down on it and make it seem like trying to be a person's friend is so bad, or it makes you feel like you're a desperate weak guy. And so I feel like when guys they hear that a lot, they feel like, oh well, so let me just jump into what I want to get into next, just the sex part or the relationship aspect, and forget the friendship. And so because if I try to build a friendship, a woman is just gonna put me in a friend zone, and she's not gonna take me seriously, and then she's gonna go after, I guess, the quote unquote what
The
society
Chad or
says.
Tyrone.
Yeah, the Tyrone, the bad boy or whatever, right? And so I think that's what makes people want to say like, okay, forget the friendship because I don't get no benefit off of being a woman's friend.
That's right. And women have got to stop that friend zone crap because the dude that's gonna be your best match is your friend. That's gonna be your best fit.
But they want to make him their best pill talk buddy.
They've always said promote from the friend zone.
You should be, you should be able to. You should be able to tell him anything.
Promote from the friend zone. What's that?
Some men deserve to be friend zoned. Not every woman should get with every man that's trying to get with them.
Oh no!
No, not that.
But friend zone, stay there sometimes. It's like if you're friend zone, the woman is.
I put a lot of people in the friend zone. I got you. I understand where they come from, but what I'm saying is the one who has the most potential. Don't let him be your friend, but don't say, I don't know, girl. I'm looking. He's like my best friend. I think I should. No, don't even go down that road of thinking. If he like your best friend, just keep on trucking and let it pan on out. Just keep on trucking, let it pan on out, because that's gonna be the one that's gonna end up being your guy, your go-to, your rock.
I just feel like if a woman has enough attraction for a man, like stop placing like these friendship boundary rules on him. If he tries to, get to know you on a deeper level to a point where, hey, look, I just want to be your friend. I mean, there's more to it besides sex. I want to be with the person that I can wake up in the morning and just be like, man, cool. I'm waking up with my best friend. But women, they place those boundaries, and that's why I feel like it kind of derails like a little bit as far as like the courtship aspect. And I feel like if we kind of like you said, I think promote ourselves from the friend zone, then it will motivate more men to. I think, to me personally, I think it will make men see women more valuable as you taking the time to kind of get to know her, and along through the process of dates and sex and all that. But if you don't, if you're not really friends with that person, and all you just want to do is just like hit and smash, and and for women friends on people, I just don't really see the value in dating relationships of today. It just
everyone here, everyone very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, you're fine. Sorry to cut you off, M3. I'm just gonna bring up one more person. We're gonna get to the last question because we are nearing the 2-hour mark. Bronze Bird, how you doing?
Peace. What's going on?
What's going on, bro?
Hello.
So, I'm hearing what you guys are saying. I don't know if you had time to look at what I was saying in the comment section, but there's quite a things that we have to go over. I guess you guys were talking about friend zones, right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Promoting from the friend zone.
I'm sorry?
Promoting from the friend zone. So women should marry their best friend, or look more at their best friend as opposed to going out and looking to see what's out there, I guess.
That's a catch-22, and I'll explain why. The idea of friend zones is women using men as a way to kind of just say, you're just on the sidelines. I like you, but I don't like you. So therefore, I'm just going to put you on the sidelines while I deal with other men. And the thing about it is with friend zones, that's why I never agree with friend zones. Because the thing about it is the man should already know if he's getting played by a woman, he needs to move on. There's no reason for him to stick around with a friend who he knows is playing game, who he knows she's playing games with him. and she's sitting up there on putting him on the sidelines. I've never agreed with friend zones. As soon as I even have the thought or even the mention that a woman is going to dare to put me in a friend zone, I exit quickly. There's no reason for me to stay around with you and to deal with you if you secretly like me but you don't want to tell me. And you want to still be able to do what you have to do, whether it be get into a sexual relationship with another man or decide to yourself that you may want to get in the actual relationship with another man. It's a waste of time. And that's why I put the onus on the men more than I put it on the women. Because the men have to understanding that there is more of an availability to catch more women because there's more women than there are men on this planet. So the man doesn't have to deal with that one woman if he is in the quote unquote friend zone. He has to leave. Mm-hmm. The woman will decide whether she wants to deal with that man or deal with another man. That is ultimately on a man's decision to keep himself bombarded or prisoned in that situation or move on.
Prisoned.
Yeah.
I mean, it is every man's hell.
I like everything he said. A bad boy won't get trapped in that. That's why.
That's why she'll go after him.
Well, you'll stay out of the friend zone because you will let her know, you will let her see, and you will let her feel her competition.
Well, John, I'm
that's how you
understand your plot on Bad Boy. I honestly I don't really agree with the idea of Bad Boy because it's just kind of like the idea of rhetoric of saying that you're an asshole. At the same time, as a man, you stand on your square at the end of the day. You don't allow women to take over exactly what your stance is. So, I mean, honestly, me and you both did agree that as men, this is how we roll. There is no exceptions to the rule. I put down the rule and you should follow it. If you don't follow it, you can deal with another man who's more like a simp characteristic or carry the idea that they want to pander towards the woman. So, I mean, that's just my idea on it.
And that's exactly what it is. Exactly what you just said.
Well, can I say something about the history about the so-called like bad boy? I know like the bad boy. Well, okay, I know there's a better word of saying bad boy. Like it's mostly like men who are like assertive. You know, a man that stands his ground, like you said, like an alpha.
Yeah.
But historically, like the term bad boy was used basically like, as a shaming word because society of today doesn't like men to stand up for themselves, or they look at these guys as quote unquote hyper masculine. So when you have a man that's actually still trying to remain as a man's man in this feminine, emasculated society as of today, that's when they're going to use that term bad boy because they want you to make it seem like, okay, by a man stand up for himself, he should be ashamed to even have the audacity to bug at a woman, you know, to puff his chest at a woman and say, hey, you're not going to rule over me. I'm going to rule over myself and you're going to follow my program or you can just kick rocks. They don't like guys like that in society. So I think that's why they use that term bad boy as just a way to like, you know, a shaming tactic. But I hear what you're saying though. That could be a better way of phrasing it, but calmly.
But sorry, I just want to chime in and say it. But like to be honest, in any working relationship, it's just it can't always be what one person wants, like my way or the highway. It's about compromise and give and take. So it's just like, again, I don't feel like it's technically being a bad boy or a bad girl or being a bad bitch or being, you know, whatever. It's just about, you know, holding yourself to, you know, a higher quality and standard of what, you know, you feel like you should, you deserve of how you should be treated or not. I don't think it necessarily should be called like a bad boy, whatever, because it's about being treated with, you know, common decency. Like again, like relationships don't work with only one person always getting what they want. It's relationships are not supposed to be one-sided.
Well, I'm not saying that. Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that the relationship has to be just like for the man's favor, but.
Yeah, but like the way that you said it, you were like, well, whatever, a bad boy, then if you're not a simp, that means that if this is what I want, and if this is not what you're giving me, then you can kick rocks. But it's just like, but what if, again, like relationships are give and take, so it's about compromise, and it's not always about what one person wants.
Okay, so like, yeah, in relationships like marriage, like predominantly, right? Yeah, that's cool, but I'm talking about more like, okay, if a man is being like, if a woman's run over a man and try to like place demands and all that, I'm more talking about like their assertiveness. Like, I'm not about to like sit there and let anybody, not even a man or a woman, like, belittle me, try to tear me down. But that's the point. That's the point I'm talking about. And that's as far as like a person who is like shamed to be a bad boy for a guy who's standing up for himself. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's compromise into that, because relationships is a two-way street. It's not always just like one-sided. But when it gets to that point where it's like the woman has all these demands and doesn't bring anything to the table, but yet still want to run her mouth and say this and that.
But then you're actually saying that, because then what the argument on the opposite of the ends of the spectrum is that, the other question was, okay, well, you have these women that do bring a lot to the table and have their own careers, their own money, but then you don't want them to have a certain attitude because they feel confident in themselves because if they have that. So if they're demanding a type of respect, then they're wrong for demanding that type of respect. But then in this regard, you're saying that like, oh, but they're not bringing anything to the table, and then they want to have the nerve to have some type of right or an opinion, and it's not quite making sense.
No, which you're misinterpreting like some of the things that we said, right? Okay, so like for me, right, I'm gonna speak for myself. If a woman makes more money than me, right, I have no problem with a woman making more money for me. I mean, making more money than me. I mean, I have a wife that makes more money than me, and I have absolutely no problem, because if she makes that money, I'm making that money. If I'm bringing money into the table, she's getting my money as well too. The only thing that I would have a problem with is that if you have a conceited type of attitude based off your financial status, and you try to belittle the man because he's making less than you, that's the problem. That's the part that I have a problem with. It's your bad attitude. It's not your bad attitude. It's not like a place from confidence. It's really a base from insecurity and status. And so you think that, okay, money is gonna make me be better than what I think of myself. That's the part that I'm talking about.
Right.
But if she brings to the table and she brings attitude, or she brings like whatever, like a.
I'll explain it. I'll explain it real quickly.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that a lot of people in this modern society do not like to get to the basics. What he's trying to allude to is that the woman usually uses arrogance to go against the man when it comes to financial situations.
Men do
so
too.
Therefore, he has no problem.
Men do that too.
Wait.
Hold on, let him finish.
Let's not do the and argument. This is an assessment. So the thing about it is, what M3 is basically saying, it's an arrogance factor. Women of this society will use the idea that they have something like a PhD, master's degree, or use the fact that they earn more than a man to use it against them in the long term, to make it seem like the man is not enough for her to be in a relationship. A lot of these relationships of today is based on finance. The idea about it is that the woman is only cares about the man if he earns more than her, or even maybe earns just as much as she does. If he earns less than her, she will automatically use it against him in the long haul to make it seem as if he's lonely and he's not on his 2 feet doing what he has to do. So that's the reason why the arrogance factor comes into it.
Yeah, like what I need him for.
Exactly. He's not useful.
I don't need him.
But the thing is that it's like also, and we can all like argue the opposite, because a lot of times men think that, oh, whatever, because you're making the money or you make less money than them, or they don't think that what you do or what your work or what your money that you're making is a value to them, because they don't care about that. Because I've heard that you guys have said that before, and then it's like sometimes I
don't know. You might have misinterpreted what we said. If that's the case,
I never said that. I never said that.
No,
I did.
but no. Literally in past podcasts, that, and also one of the questions is that the more money the man makes, then the less what you make, or the less that whatever you're doing is of more of importance.
That's not
what
what
the
he
question.
meant.
That's
not what he meant.
What it is.
What he
That's
means
not what we're
is
saying.
I don't care if you have a PhD. I don't care if you have a master's. I don't care if you make 15,000, 10,000, 9,000, or no money. I need you to be cooperative, sweet, nurturing. That's what I need you to be. I don't care about all that other stuff. I'm just being real. I do not care. It's not
the more money
my decision. It's not part of my decision.
Women only have that attitude when it comes to a man, like really not giving that same thing back, when it's not a mutual thing. When he's demanding to a woman, and it's like, give me the sweetness, give that shit back to me. Because if you are demanding shit,
no, that's already provided though.
What?
You have to understand that's
there
already.
are men out there.
No, because there are men out there.
So are you guys saying that the more money he makes, automatically he's just not going to care or diminish the women's thought? Is that what you guys are saying?
No, I'm just saying there's a lot of men out there that think that just because they're providers, that's all they have to do. There's a lot more that comes to it. And when it comes to relationships, you could be a good provider and make more money than me. But if you treat me like crap, then no, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because it's about being treated well.
Well,
that has to go hand.
But what do you
and
call
a lot of times
getting treated like crap though?
No.
Wait, say that again.
I'm not saying. What?
I'm sorry, I missed the question from from Brownsburg. What'd you say?
No, I didn't have a question. I was just telling Melissa and Natasha that the basis is that women activate themselves from a place of arrogance versus the men. She was alluding to the idea that men may still treat you like crap if they earn more than the woman does. My thing about that is, that was my main thing. I didn't have a question on that though.
Okay, my bad.
No, because I'm like, you're saying, you should just be treated well, and it's a given. But a lot of times, it's not like that.
There are men out there that do make less than women and still treat the women like shit. And that's, I feel like that's when the attitude comes out.
Yeah. So now the real question
where
is,
it's like, excuse me, like, I don't need you. That's when the attitude comes out. But if you treated me respect, just like how I'm treating you, the money does not matter.
Exactly.
But if you treating me like
that's why you got to be practical in your dating. So, because would you rather be crying in a Honda Civic or a Ferrari? All right, that's the real question. All right, let's be honest here. All right.
I would rather not be crying at all.
If you're miserable, it doesn't matter if you have a Mercedes Benz or a Toyota. Like, you're still going to be miserable. So I really don't care about that part.
Now, Melissa,
I'll ask you a question after you, John. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
That would be the last one, and then we got to move on to the last question because we are a little past the 2-hour mark.
Okay.
So I like to keep it at that 2-hour mark, but hey, we're going to go a little overtime today because, we have a good panel. All right.
Alluding to what
for you guys. For you guys.
Wait, who wanted to ask me a question?
It was
Somebody
me.
said Melissa.
I was saying Melissa. So I know what she's talking about, which goes back to what CKQ was talking about, dating practical. If you know how you got some of the women nowadays, they want this already established man, right? You do and you don't. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying all men, but there are some, quite a few, that if he is already established, a lot of the times, and it's not going to sound like I'm contradicting myself, and I'm not. A lot of the times, a man is not going to respect you the same way when he's got a lot of money, when you're chasing after that money because you weren't there when he didn't have nothing. And that I'm going to say most high value men, if you're not meeting that, if I'm telling you, he's not going to treat you. You can end up being treated like crap You understand? But for me, when I'm picking a woman, I don't care. I don't care personally. I don't care. Like that's not gonna be a killer if you're not working or something like that. Now, in the past, I have been an asshole, and I have thrown that shit up and say, "Hey, I make this and did that," and I've done it. I'm guilty.
And a woman would do that if she does not receive respect from a man. If she makes more than him, she's also gonna do that for a man to respect her.
The thing is, a lot of the times, men understand that we have to come in making more money. We have to come in being the providers. That's like from a young age, we know like it actually brings us a lot of pleasure to be able to provide for the people that we love.
But it's the way we got to go about it. Like we don't have to go about it and remind her, that
we
you
that's
don't
not
have as much money, or you can't do this if I don't get your name and on the lease. This is my house.
Versus on the woman's side, it might happen a little bit more.
Because that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. Like exactly what John just said. That's what I mean.
Brownsburg, any last words?
If you're not treating the other person with like dignity and respect, where their opinions or their emotions or whatever are not validated, then that's when you're going to get the attitude, because then that's when people feel like, disgruntled, and that's when people feel like you're making them feel like they're worthless. And that's
that's typically why I want to say one last thing before I let Brownsburg go. So that's typically why men of a certain caliber, they wouldn't date a woman. They don't date women because of their money, because of that money comes a certain level of entitlement. I would say that.
But how is
I know. Wait. Hold on. I know it doesn't sound nice, but that's just what it is.
You have gold makes the rules.
And that's why men will gladly date someone that makes less, because they'll be a little bit more compliant with what we would like to do. Men are not authoritarians when it comes to like taking care of the people that matters to them. We're not.
So you're basically saying that especially men just want to have like a person that's going to be like a vegetable and not say anything to them.
See, and now you're using it, and that's what I was expecting. You're using it as like a negative. You're viewing it as a negative.
I know that you didn't mean it that way, but when you say it in that way, it makes it sound like any man, doesn't matter how much money they make, they just want a woman that is not going to, hold them accountable or say anything to them. And if they want a certain amount of respect as well, and just to be treated well, then it's wrong for them to say that. That's like, I don't agree.
That's why I say a certain caliber of man. When you're talking about a certain caliber of man, that the more money, the more status, the more he grows himself without a woman there, the less he's willing to tolerate from really any woman.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of men that are not making that much money, and they still treat women like that.
Well, that's a poor choice on the woman. Then at that point, that's a poor choice on the woman's part.
And some of the pro basketball wives and stuff like that, they put up with. You think they don't know them boys cheating? Yeah, they know they cheating, but I'm sorry, Gucci, Prada, and all that shit they like, they willing to turn a blind eye. I ain't never caught him with nobody. So in my mind, he's not cheating. He's on that level.
Oh, Brownsburg, do you got any last words?
Oh, am I dropping down after this, or I stay on?
You're dropping down after this.
Okay. So, good discussion. I just wanted to, try to reiterate the idea that women are dating men from the idea of opportunity and advancement. Men are dating women based on the idea of comfort. And I think that the problem that we're having is that we usually go with a negative view when it comes to the man towards the woman. Instead of understanding that a man only wants peace with this woman. He doesn't want to come home to a woman that's going to argue or be vindictive towards him. And I think women have to understand of today that when it comes to the man, yes, the financial thing comes in, but I have a hard time having a conversation with that, because yes, it is a governed that a man is going to provide and do what he has to do. But too many times these conversations become too haywire, because now we're living in a society where it's the actual opposite. Women are earning more than men. So they're starting to have higher standards than men and saying that you must come in with A through Z and you must be able to do this, that, and the third, and provide for me, even though I provide more than you. So the idea about it, at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to go to the basics at all. I just think that this is just how it's going to be, and you have to find your way through it. You have to find someone who's cooperative, regardless if it's a man or woman. Whoever you choose to date, and I think to Melissa's point, you have to be practical. Yes, we have an understanding that there are men out there that treat women like shit. I have no doubt in my mind, regardless of any financial or economical status, that will happen on any level. You have to make the discernment on what type of man you want and what his background is. It doesn't matter his economical status. An asshole is an asshole, regardless at the end of the day. You have to find a man who's practical. So, I mean, we just have to establish that. But otherwise than that, thank you for having me on the panel. See you next time. Peace.
All right. Thanks for coming up, Bronze. Tune in next week. All right. I got one more person. You're lucky I like you, E-Black. All right. You're coming in mad late, but.
My guy, how y'all been?
Pretty good. You want to say something real quick, because I want to get to the last question, and then we're closing up shop for the night.
Oh, okay. I really apologize. I know that bow tie getting kind of tight on you right now, and you kind of want to. But speaking about the last little subject, I think a lot of times, as a married person, a lot of times people forget their roles and they forget what actually is important in a marriage. A marriage is about making a deal. You are literally with another person making a deal, saying, I'm willing to do this, you're willing to do that. We're going to ride off into the sunset. And it's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with telling the other person that, hey, I make more money than you, but I still expect a certain type of behavior from you. Or you make more money, but I expect a certain type of behavior. That's what marriage is about. And a lot of times the roles get all messed up when women think that their money value is more valuable than a man's presence.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That there's no way to quantify you going into a parking lot and not getting robbed by a robber because there's a man right next to you. How much would you pay for that? You can't quantify masculine behavior. These are things that are just non-quantifiable. But I can always find a woman within any economic range, within any age group that can be feminine. Yep. So those are things that women, I think, don't in today's age are not getting because they're slowly making more money. They're still not making more money than men. No matter what the stats say, you're not making more money than men. It's very close, but it's not. Statistically, still we are making more money. Not only that, we're doing more work. The STEM. We are also building the buildings. We are still men in the society. Technology has definitely made it more easier for women to have protection, to have communication, and all the things. But it still doesn't mean anything. And I'm just going to end on this. The last thing that happened, Houston Texas had an ice storm, right? Do anybody remember that?
Yeah, I mean like 3 or 4 months ago?
Yeah. I want to tell you how many men were in the line at Walmart getting water. How many men were being called to help because somebody's pipes were being busted? We have a value. And as long as life is all good, yeah, our value kind of gets cloudy and muddy. But when it hits the fan, men are always going to have a value. And that's where, like I said, you got to sit down and make a deal with a man and say, hey, this is what I expect and this is what I want out of you. And you're going to have to listen to his wants also.
Mm-hmm. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Ladies, anything to say to that?
No, they ain't got nothing to say.
I hear you.
Eloquently spoken.
I mean, yeah, we hear you, but women have a value to them as well. Like we're
absolutely
like as much as we lack. Like for example, I'm in STEM as well. I build buildings as well. Yeah. Like there's some men out there who do the same. But for example, if they can't read floor plans and I have value in that. If I can't, put the bricks on, but you have value in that. So at the end of the day, we both have value.
Yeah.
We just need to understand our roles and not like disrespect each other. And if there's that and there's communication, everything's gonna be okay and right out.
Yeah, I just think you don't realize that it's not disrespect when we're telling you, hey, we want this type of behavior. We're just asking for what's naturally ours.
Somehow when the woman asks for that behavior, when they ask for a certain behavior from the men, all of a sudden it's disrespect. Or a man feels like belittled and stuff.
Nah,
like,
it's just that man.
Like a man.
It's just that type of man. Okay, so here's the thing. Everyone strives to be an alpha male, but not a lot of men know. And I actually I was on a different panel and we talked about this. Did you know that an alpha is also a beta? How many of y'all knew that? Oh yeah. Yeah. And you know who made me think of that? And she realized it, and it was Natasha. See, an alpha is this man right here, outside of here, but he's a beta when he's at home with his kids. He's a beta when he's at home with his. Look at the lion's behavior. When he'll let the cubs crawl all over him, he'll let the lioness come up and lay next to him and kiss on him. But any dude come around that area, he gonna kill him. Period. Point blank. He's the alpha and he's a beta. He has a heart. A real alpha has complete balance. He's yin and yang in one. And then when you hook him up with his female, then she's the one who keeps him from going overboard. He can be too much. And the person that I told you I had a background in psychology, that's my thing. We just talked about this. And the DSM-5 is in. Out of 2,900 and some plus people on the sample, women have every characteristic that makes them nurturers, cooperable. That's where they scored higher. Men scored higher in protective. Men scored higher in being aggressive. Men scored higher in every trait that makes you be who you are. So your roles are natural. So that whole crap that they're trying to feed you, there's no gender. You a lie. They're natural roles. And then the last thing, talking about what he was saying and what Stephanie was just talking about. I don't know what your religious affiliation is, but I'm a Christian myself. The one part that's been left out is said that preachers in the South, a lot of them have always said, you submit to your husband. That's not how that scripture goes. The husband is submit one to another. And the way I practice in my relationship, when she is the subject matter expert, I assist and I submit to her and let her run it, and I give her the assistance. When I'm the subject matter expert, if we buying something, if we doing finances, that's my thing. My thing is doing investments. She asks me, she submits to me, and that's what she do. If somebody break in, she gonna assist me. She gonna come, she gonna get me what I need, get the cops on the phone while I'm killing this dude, and making sure that I get the witnesses together.
Yeah.
We work together. Teamwork make the dream work.
And that part, that's where I agree with you, John, on that one. When you have like that, when you have that communication,
Natasha, Black, do you have any? Oh, sorry, I'm three. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'll make it short. I promise I'll make it short. John, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that part, because when you have that communication and then when you have that balance, Natasha, you're able to like work together as a team. Whether it be like in any type of working relationships, marriage relationships, dating relationships. And as far as with the alpha and beta, right? Yeah, you can be alpha and you can be beta, right? Because it's not, no one's an all-around alpha. You know what I mean? Not everyone's an all-around beta. You know, in some different environments, it depends on your surroundings. If the people look at you like you're an alpha, you're going to get treated like an alpha. If the group of other people look at you like a beta, you're going to get treated like a beta. And that's why I want you to say that part. I don't want to talk too long, but
yeah.
I just want to say
E-Black, when closing comments?
Just as a closing comments, because you guys are going on this alpha beta talking. It's kind of killing me, but I just want to just
don't worry. I'm gonna make a live stream about that on my channel soon.
Y'all really okay. Anyway, but speaking about just in terms of a married person, you know, as a person that has been married or who is married right now, our roles are to support each other, and support doesn't always mean 50-50. It's 100. You're looking at it from a big scope, and you're playing your roles. The the best times in my marriage have been when my wife realized her role and I realized my role, and I put all the childish things away, and she put all her things that how she kind of felt like things should go away, and then we started working together and we made a better deal. We can always come to another negotiation and say, hey, this is what we want. So, but also your view changes, and it's not disrespect for a man to say, I want this. Don't think of it like that. Think of it as just him wanting what a man wants. So thank you.
Yeah, listen, thank you for coming up, man.
What question? Oh, okay.
All right, y'all enjoy it.
Next time.
I didn't get to. Okay. All right.
Take care, y'all.
All right, Black.
All right, guys.
All the people in the chat.
The last question for the night that I wanted to end off with. My headphones are kind of messing up, so it's a little hard for me to hear everyone correctly. But the last question is, what advice would you give your younger self when talking about dating? Melissa, start us off. Sorry, Steph.
Especially like I let go of a person that wasn't really worth it. I just would have, and I wasted like almost 4 years of my life, mind you. So this is why, like, when I give advice is because I've been there. I would say don't let outside people, especially people that are not in the best relationships themselves or have toxic behavior, give you advice into staying in relationships that deep down inside you know aren't the best for you. Because it would have saved me all this time. And I would have been like, I should have just stuck to my guns and been like, peace to that person a long ass time ago. But I give him a second chance or whatever. And look, me and my relationship or whatever. And then I'm like, no, I should have just listened to myself and been real with myself and just left that person alone a long ass time ago. So that's what I would try to say. It was yes, I know things happen for a reason and you learn and you grow and it's a lesson. But if I would tell my younger self that.
Okay.
Stephanie?
I would tell my younger self, like, don't idealize love. Like, don't fall in love with the idea of love. You know, like, stick in the present moment. Don't, like, visualize your life 10 years from now because that person might not be in your life, even though that's what you idealize. So, yeah, that's what I would tell myself.
Natasha?
I don't know. I would tell myself to, just pay attention to the red flags. I guess. I don't know.
Like, damn, I've been good. I don't know. I didn't tell myself anything.
I was good. Why are you hiding?
No, not yet. I'm saying I was waiting for the answer. I was waiting for the response. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Just listen to the red flags. That's what
she wasn't ready.
Yeah, because I'm someone that has a lot of see potential in people. So just pay attention to the red flags. Just okay. That's it.
M3.
I would just tell myself to not take dating women seriously, and just not even take the emotions on a personal level. If anything, I would just tell my young self, look, focus on trying to build yourself to be the best version of you. If I had that opportunity to go back in time. So, yeah.
Melissa, it looked like you had a question about that.
No, I was just laughing because when he said that, your face was oh, okay.
No. I agree with that. 100% agree with that. I 120%.
My face was okay.
No, I was laughing at your face too, Natasha.
John, bring us home.
Eyes again?
Bring us home, John. Preach us home.
Hey, the same advice I give my sons. Be a hoe.
Be a hoe.
Women, love yourself. I would tell the ladies, be yourself. Learn to love yourself. Yeah.
Be a hoe, focus on you, and you'll know when you meet her. Because it's very important that you be a hoe. It just is. You'll be a better husband if you're a hoe when you're young. And any man, and most men know what I'm talking about. It's just the way we are. It's curiosity, and it's a Baskin Robbins theory. She's that number one until you meet number one. And if you ain't never been with an Asian girl, you're gonna be curious. If you ain't never been with a Latina girl, you will be curious. And when y'all because you gotta understand, men, this whole monogamy thing, that comes from religious and other beliefs. Men weren't even designed to be monogamous. That's just to let you know. We have to learn how to be in a relationship. It's only a couple of animals that I know that have relationships, and one of them is a goose or whatever.
Yeah.
We're not even made to be like that. So if you've been with one person in your whole life and you meet this girl and you want to date her right out of high school, she has a very high probability that when y'all move and go to a bigger city and you get it introduced in 31 flavors, thus the theory, the Baskin Robbins, her ass in trouble. And I'm just telling you, she better keep you on a very short leash. That's all I can tell you. So be a hoe.
I like that.
This is good. This is good preaching from everyone.
Yeah, all the wholeness out of you.
I'm stirred up the girls now.
Wait. Who's talking?
You had a daughter who told her not to be a hoe. Were you tell her to be a hoe as well?
Say what?
Say again? Oh, she said if you had a daughter.
Would you tell her not to be a hoe or to be a hoe?
Nah, you can't. You can't raise a woman and a man the same way. I don't do that.
No, yeah,
I don't treat my boys the same way I treat my girls. You kidding me?
It can. No, honestly, he's right. That's a 50. That's a 50.
I'm cool with the double
if
standard.
everybody's giving that advice, if everybody's out here giving that advice to their sons, it's like these girls are gonna turn into the same thing. Like they're gonna play the same.
Okay, so in this day and age, women really have all the leverage when it comes to sex. Women have the leverage when it comes to sex because women choose who has sex and women choose who becomes a father or a parent. So for a guy to become a hoe, No. For a guy to become a hoe, it's effort. He has to become something to become a hoe. His mentality, his game, money, status, he has to become something to become a hoe because women don't just choose any guy to sleep with. Or other than that, you guys will just be sleeping with the homeless man like laying down the block. No, you guys want that guy to have something before you choose him to lay down with. So for a guy to become a hoe, that is like, wow, you that actually took effort. For a woman to become a hoe, I mean, you could go in a bar and ask any guy, and they'll all say like, "Yeah, I'm down. Let's go right now."
You gotta understand, like what I said before. Women have it easy. I'm going to say this: all women have it easy when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
You know, so for a man to be a hoe, you got to go through all these different type of levels of stages.
Rejection after rejection.
Yeah, you're not used to rejection. If you get rejected, like it's gonna crumble you. If you don't get the attention that you need every day to like keep you off of life support, like you're just gonna die from that. Point blank period. Because you guys are used to having different men, whether they're from high status or low status, DMing you, coming after you, catcalling if they still do that now these days. No. Like I said, you guys are the gateway of sex, but men are just the gateway of relationships.
Go ahead, John. And then we'll close out.
Like Kevin Hart said, let me explain.
Go ahead.
All right. What I just said, and I said it the way I said it to get this reaction because I wanted to build on the topic, all right? When a woman wants a man that's assertive and she wants a man who can be decisive, an inexperienced man is not going to be that. I don't care who he is, he's not. You want a man who is charming. You're not going to be a man with little experience to no experience is not going to be that. And the biggest one, you want a man who can put it down in bed. And I'm sorry, you got one person. You can't be with one person and think you know how to please every woman. That is a big lie because it is not true. You have to learn each person. And if this dude has little to no experience, he's going to be awkward and all of that. So the character, the women, the guys that y'all like, the guys that you really are sexually attracted to, at one point, they were a hoe, and they can lie about their number all they want to. But at one point, the ones who get chosen, the ones who get selected, the brother who is smooth out the mouth, He know how you can be mad as hell, and this nigga come in and say just the right shit and touch you just the right way. You like, you know what, boy, you so crazy, and you cool all over again. He was a hoe. Right? He was a hoe. He got that experience. He learned how to talk to you. He learned how to read your body language. They easier to get along with because he's got a sample size of different types. Oh, so and so was like that. He can process it real quick, and he knows. Okay, she mad at me, and he'll come to you and touch you the right way. He'll just ease that pain, ease that mind. But a dude with little to no experience, he gonna call his damn mama. That's who he gonna call. Like, I don't know. I think she mad at me.
Mom, tell me.
Mama saved me.
Hurry up, call me. What should I do?
What should I do? Give her flowers? Okay, mama.
Yeah,
Mom, you told me to get the ice cream and flowers. It didn't work.
And it's nothing wrong with that. And the reason I say you can't raise it, M3 said it best. Women are treated differently in this society. You know, I'm not gonna get into the physical aspects of the difference, but I would never raise my daughter, if I had one, I got all boys, the same way I raise my boys, because they have different roles. They have different positions. They're going to be looked at differently, like, period. If the only job to eat the next meal was a babysitting job, and you had a son and you had a daughter, who you think going to get that job? Raise your hand. Who you think going to get that job? It's your son. You can't give him no money, and he has to eat in the next 24 hours, whatever the situation is. But the only job available is a babysitting job. Who is going to get that job? Raise your hand. I'm going to let you know your daughter is going to get that job. You know that, right? Why? Because people look at men like, well, he might, even though this man is going to be able to protect that child if something bad happens, he'll be able to nurse, he can feed the child, he can do all the same things a woman can do, right? Mm-hmm. But it's the stereotype in how he is perceived is what's going to keep them from a babysitting a man. Oh, no, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
You can't have no man running a daycare, right?
They're not looked at the same in society, so how you going to raise them for society and make your daughter think you're going to get the same treatment as a man or vice versa?
I'm not going to lie when it comes to that, because I work for a daycare / school and day camp. Like,
and they will not hire men.
All of the men, they're all women, and the only men that I've ever seen, yes,
the janitor.
Yep,
they're gay.
I want this job, and he got to feel like they got to disarm him. I won't be able to get a job in psychology. I know that. That's why I work from home. That's why I've started my own business. That's why I trade options. That's what I do. Make very, very, very good money. Make way more than the woman I'm going to marry, and it don't even matter. We don't even talk about that. She tell me how much money she made today, and I tell her how much money we made today, and we high five. Yeah, we're doing it. That's how we do, right? Mm-hmm. But that's just the way it is. I mean, it is how it is, bro.
I think the worst thing our society's done is tell us that we're 50-50, men and women are equal.
There ain't no such thing as no 50-50.
Yeah. There's no equality.
What?
We are 70-30.
70-30. There you go. 70-30.
70 what? 70-30.
70-30, yep. Women say 50-50, but they want 70-30.
And we need y'all. We need y'all. A good woman will make a dude climb mountains.
A good woman would make a strong man. Yeah. But other than that, listen, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this panel. I really loved having you guys on, all the different ideas, all the bumps and hiccups that happened. But guys, this was very fun. Do you have any closing thoughts? Oh, actually, you know what? Everyone shout out. We'll go one person at a time. Shout out your podcast.
Our podcast is the Talk Your Shit Pod. Make sure you follow us, like, subscribe. We're already subscribed to Clement's pod, but we'll subscribe to yours. We really like the commentary. Thank you so much for inviting us, for having this dialogue with us. And yeah.
All right. John, do you want any closing thoughts? Shout out any kind of anything you have, really.
Well, I do have a YouTube channel I just started, so don't laugh at me. I only got like 20 subscribers so far.
Bro, I just started too. Don't worry. We're all
no shame to that.
So it's Black Wall Street Trading LLC.
Message it to me and I'll add in the description for the video.
Bet.
All right. Awesome.
And thanks for having me on the panel. I enjoyed all of y'all.
Of course, this was fun. It was really good having you, John. Thank you. M3.
So this is your boy M3 from Knowledge and Relationships. Clement, thank you for having me on your channel. Feel free, everyone, to like, subscribe to my page. We talk about these type of topics as well too, as far as relationships. Everyone, I will still, go and subscribe to your channels as well too. So it's been fun, and thank you.
Awesome. Melissa?
So I'm in the process of revamping my social media presence. So again, like John said, don't judge me. I only have like a couple of videos on my YouTube page, but I'm in the process of making more content. But find me in all social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, YouTube as Melissa Stewart or Melissa Natasha Stewart or MNS Angel 91.
Awesome. Everyone send me all of your links and all of your message, and I'll add it all into the description. But other than that, guys.
We change the way we speak, conscious the energy we give. We'll have a world full of positive word to jigger. Can I live?